Hmm. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I don't know, episode 40 something, maybe 50. I don't know. I've lost track of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the GM and creator of the big campaign. Am I muted? No, it says my mic is working. Wait. No. Can chat hear me? Okay, thank you. Okay. I will fix my Discord in a second. Apparently, I'm still muted on Discord, and I will adjust that in a minute. But welcome, everybody, and thank you, Fuzzy. I am the creator and GM of the campaign, Puck Finn. For everyone joining us tonight, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go over some introductory things. We'll do a little recap. We'll introduce you to your players, and we will get right to it. Yeah, and hopefully I'll figure out why I'm muted on Discord. So, first thing. Oh, okay, might have just been a lag thing. Thank you. Okay, so before we, first thing I would like to do is I'd like to talk about the Discord. So the Discord is the place where everything happens outside of our broadcast. The link to our Discord can be found on our link tree. So on our Discord, we have a number of channels that are interactive, as well as, we have our chat channels, we have our artwork and meme channels, we have our loot channels. If you are part of it, you will see a rather large purchase that Ledo has just made, and I'm very excited to see what that is for. I will not comment on it, but if he chooses to, he is welcome to. But there's a number of things that can be purchased in our loot store on our Discord server. There are in-game things such as potions, D4s to help the players. There are D4s to hurt the players. There are or assist the enemies. There are fairy bottles. There are a number of in-game looting options, as well as some out-of-game things, such as having a one-shot GM'd by yours truly. So if you want to check out the loot shop on our Discord server, there's lots of good stuff there. In addition to our Discord server, on our link tree, you will also find links to both our Cataclysm of Hyrule YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook page. Our Facebook page creates event reminders for our Cataclysm campaign sessions. We run a bi-weekly campaign, so on the alternate weeks we do chat sessions. Those chat sessions are not uploaded to our YouTube channel, but the campaign sessions, like the ones we're going to be having tonight, are. Yeah. You know what? Honestly. So yeah, if you check out our link tree, you can find all of our links and go and check everything out. And aside from that, you know what? Let's just skip to introductions. All right. So, below me, you will see Gully's picture. Gully is currently not with us. I'm not sure if he'll be joining tonight. I haven't heard anything one way or the other. But either way, next to Gully, we have Deacon. How you doing, Deacon? Oh, wait. I think I still... Oh, wait. Okay, let's try that again. How you doing, Deacon?
Hi, I'm hanging in there. I'm a sleepy boy.
Fair.
I Glad we're starting off with a long rest in a very comfortable hot mansion
Yes.
temple thing.
Yes. So, yes, we have started. We've ended the last session on a long rest, which, from my personal point of view, is the preferable way to do it whenever possible, and we've been pretty good about it the past couple of sessions. So,
new session, new you.
That's right. We're starting off on a good foot. We are in a fabricated fire temple with. You know what? What would be a good name for this group of people at this moment? Could we just jump to calling them acolytes at this point? Like,
I feel like we have to let Gully decide what they're actually called.
I think so. But okay, so right now we will simply refer to them as Gully's followers. People who are going to eventually reside inside the fire temple. And I believe the intention of the party at this point is to escort them and make sure that they are that they safely arrive, and then whatever happens from that point on happens from that point on. So yes, we will hopefully see what Gully has in store. But Deacon, yes, it is a pleasure having you, and have some coffee or something. I feel like I need to.
I'll leave it. If only.
Next to Deacon, we have Ledo. How you doing, Ledo?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing fantastic. I bought a whole bunch of something to try to do something else that might do something. Oh, something is hopefully going to happen.
That's a lot of something.
Yes. Which is better than nothing.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to see what it is. Admittedly, I have no clue what it is, and that is, from my personal point of view, one of the exciting things about jamming an open world campaign is anything can happen at any time with anybody. There is no preset script. We honestly pride ourselves very much on that there is a pretty hard divide about, when the party plans something or when I plan something. We are often not in the loop with one another. If there is any including in any loop, it often happens during our chat sessions, in which case anybody who tunes into that, any of the viewership, is also privy to that information. But that's often reserved for things like explaining newly introduced mechanics or explaining lore that we didn't have time to flush out during the campaign session. So it's really just like that's usually relegated to like filler stuff that we don't have the time or doesn't really fit to talk about in our chat sessions. But yes, I'm excited to see what you have in store with your purchase, and we will get to it. So thank you, Ledo, for joining us. And of course, rounding out, let me give a quick check. Rounding out the rest of the team is Stuffin. How you doing today, Stuffin?
Oh, how you doing too? Nice to hear from you again.
Yes. So, yes, Stuffin is the newest addition to our party. He has been doing wonderfully. We brought him in a very tough point in time, and he has definitely been making positive strides and great impacts in this campaign. So, just as is true with everyone else, I'm excited to see what Stuffin has in store for today. This is going to be Stuffin's first in-game trip to Death Mountain. So, my question being, is there anything that Stuffin kind of has in mind for what's about to happen? And anything like, is he going in with like any preconceived notions of Death Mountain?
Stuffin's not thinking about Death Mountain right now. I mean, he's just thinking about making it to the next day because, I mean, maybe he's been valuable to y'all, but he feels like a little bit of a punching bag at times. And when you're about to go to bed, and people maybe like make promises about what to expect later that night or the next day, and you get your hopes up or you get your hopes dashed, or like you're just really nervous to go to bed, and that's kind of what he's feeling right now. Like he's probably like stripped down to his undies tonight to sleep, and there's this stack of dice that's just like stuck to his leg, and he can't get out of it. Uh, yeah, he's pretty nervous about tonight. He's not worried about Death Mountain.
Fair. So, to elaborate on something that Stefan has mentioned in his in what he said, we have introduced our first. I guess we can call it our first cursed item of the campaign, which is different from an evil item, which is why I make that distinction. But our first cursed item of the campaign, which is an item that has been around since the campaign's initial inception, one of the few items that has stood the test of time and has made many reoccurrences, an item that is called the Deadly Sin Die. And that is going to be our first action of this session. And what happens is, so the Deadly Sin Die are based around 7 deadly sins. At the start of every day, the dice will roll, and whatever corresponding number comes up, it reflects a specific sin. And so we will, and the 7th sin being greed. Greed is the acquisition of the item. So as we roll the dice, the one sin that is not present is greed. So what will happen is, well, let's just find out. So
is this the kind of thing like it doesn't happen totally till morning, or like if he rolls lust, for example, is he having some sort of like lustful dreams all night, and then it's just that happens to come up the next day? Do his dreams in some way portend the dice roll?
That has not been a mechanic for it, but so what happens is it roll. I mean, you definitely can incorporate something like that for purposes of flavor, but technically what happens is, since the die rolls when you awaken, a dream like that would probably happen more at the end of the day. Like it would be a dream, for example, the following night, as the sin kind of relinquishes, as that specific sin relinquishes its hold on you. But right now you are having a restful sleep, knowing what's about to happen this upcoming morning. So
nothing at all is going to happen.
Yeah. So to answer a frequent question about the dice, the dice is not a willful roll. In terms of mechanics, I always give the player the option to roll the die if they would like to roll the die. If they don't want to roll the die, I would roll the dice. But in game, what happens?
I rolled already.
Okay.
I rolled already.
Okay, I'll ask you the number in a minute, and we will start off with that. But mechanic-wise, or in-game, what happens is the dice actually rolls itself in the game. So, yeah, okay, so let's start off. Just touch base again. I'm going to cut cameras. My laptop today has been especially wonky. So, yeah, cutting my face, and here we go. Actually, wait, I think I might need to switch this source, because maybe to this one, I think. No, maybe not. You know what? Is it this one? Yeah, that one looks a little better. Okay. Okay. So, actually, yeah. What was the roll for the Deadly Sin die?
Yeah, Stefan is willing to accept fate. He's going to be proactive about it. He'll roll the dice if he can, but maybe he can't. I don't know. But his die came up a 1.
A 1.
That's
Okay.
got to be a good one.
Oh, they're all good. Okay. Oh, actually, I need to actually go on the other screen to see what it is. So let me scoot over to my GM screen and tell you what you have won with a 1. Items, there it is. 1 is the Sin of Pride. You must take your first action.
Welcome, Gully.
Oh, welcome, Gully. Just in time. We are just about to start, and Stuffin has rolled a 1 on his Deadly Sin die, and I'm going to explain to everyone what that is. So, Stuffin has rolled for
Sinner's generosity. He has to be really generous.
the Sin of Pride. You must take your first action in combat, moving as far as you can towards the closest enemy. You cannot retreat from combat. Okay, so on the chance that we do not enter into battle this session, which is a fair possibility one way or the other, that will essentially have no effect on Stuffin. But if we do entertain in combat, he must make a beeline to the nearest enemy as his first turn of combat. And he is unable to retreat.
There might be chances for pride, even if we don't fight.
Yeah. So yes, you have you kind of like wake up, and I would say that the rolling of the die kind of like kicking around startles you awake, and you just get this as you look at the display glowing on the upper side of the dice, you start to get this swelling of not only just pride, but more that you are like the absolute most badass person in any room that you kind of enter. Yes. So we for the rest of everyone else, we are waking up inside of the magical hut where everyone has taken their long rest, including So Gully, I want to circle back and pose a question, and if you have an answer now, great. If not, mull it over. Do we have a name for your followers? Or would you like them to continue to be called for the time being as simply Gully's followers?
I think I have a name for them. One sec. We'll come back to it, but I think I have a name for them.
Okay,
So,
okay. We will absolutely come back to it. Food for thought as we progress into the session. So, you know what? Everyone give me a D20, because I like to have a wake up order. Well, actually, I will say that Stuffin was the first to wake up as the dice have awoken him. So everyone but Stuffin at this moment.
13.
All right. Very okay. So, Deacon, you are next to awaken. Has anything specific woken you up and startled you, or what has initiated that?
My PTSD from when the dice were attached to me.
So,
I hear a
question:
roll, and I just get instant sweats.
Do you feel now that the die have been reintroduced into the campaign? Do you feel a certain connection or kinship with these with this die?
Hmm. Well, I only spent the first year and a half of my life trying to avoid it, or as life as an adventurer. I mean, so yeah, it's always been there, lurking, waiting. Mm.
So, being the one who has created this mansion for everyone to take their rest in, um, and we do have stuff in Awake first. What are you kind of seeing as you wake up?
Well, I imagine, to a certain extent, Deacon does have like food immediately on his mind. It's been a journey to get here, following everybody. And I imagine, since the followers are chilling in here too, they probably want some stuff too. So, yeah, I'm going to approach Stuffin and I'm gonna be like, "Hi, Stuffin. Good morning."
Hey, morning. How you doing? Isn't it a nice day?
Yeah, a little warm for my taste in here though. I like it a little breezier. But yeah, how you holding up?
Yeah, I expected to be feeling bad today, but honestly, I feel awesome. I mean, it's like the best I've ever felt. I mean,
Nice.
don't you feel awesome, or maybe you just aren't as awesome as I am? I don't know.
That's very possible. That's very possible.
Yeah.
But yeah. You have anything you want for breakfast? We can kind of make anything here. So, we have. Uh, honestly, I don't know what the unseen servants would be. Um, huh.
I mean, honestly, I'm kind of too important to worry about the exact specifics of the meal, but you make something to the best of your ability, and I'm
Hmm.
sure it will be perfectly adequate for me.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Here. So, why don't you take a seat I'll have them like put together a table for us to sit at. Like I said, when I created it, I imagine it's kind of like a furnished version. There's like beds and stuff where there can be and all that. Just because the idea was to take a long rest here for everybody, so there's like bunks and stuff. So I imagine there's like a mess hall style set of tables for everybody to eat at because it does have the 9-course banquet for 100 people or whatever it is or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they could all just kind of like basically get a free brunch buffet when they wake up. They got the creme brulees and everything. Actually, yeah, just like fire themed breakfast items. Anything that is, like uh, like a yesterday's brisket sandwich. Like plenty of that kind of stuff going on. You got creme brulee. You got bananas Foster. Anyway, no, that's just me being hungry. Sorry. Uh, so yeah, actually, I will escort stuff and over to the table, and when we're gonna start with like bananas Foster crepes. There we go. And
Yeah,
then it'll
not,
carry on from there.
not bad. I approve. I think. I mean, yeah, not bad.
Nice.
I'm gonna just take some of this and store it in my pockets for
Oh,
later,
unfortunately, once
case
you
I get
leave, it
something.
goes away. So I'd say eat your fill.
That's an old wives' tale. It won't leave for me. Trust me. I'm just gonna
That's fair.
stuff it in my pocket.
Okay. Gooey
Just
pockets.
call me stupid for a reason, you know.
That's good to know. That's good to know. They call me Deacon for a reason too. Hopefully, I don't know what it is.
I don't either, quite honestly.
I
But is it really that important a reason?
I suppose it's not. I just remember when I was very young, someone they kept saying Deacon at me, and eventually I figured out that was supposed to be my name.
I see. Yes, you are very
Thank you.
wise. It
Thank you.
seems maybe you
Anyway,
are. Yeah.
so do you have any plans for today? Have you thought about anything you want to do in Goron Village or anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna hang with you all and help you out because I know that you kind of need my help. Um,
It has been a blast. Honestly, we couldn't have done Bongo Bongo as well without you and your telepathic bond. So I really owe you one
yeah,
for that.
I'm feeling like I could make something nice, like jewelry wise. I mean, I'm feeling like
Mm-hmm.
I could sit down and make something and be like the best ever I've ever made.
Oh,
So if maybe I have some free time, I can like at 20 or 30 minutes, I could kind of rip off like a magical ring or something.
that sounds cool. Yeah, I mean, we're going to Death Mountain Goron Village, so I mean, they've probably got gems and stuff there. Definitely stone and precious stuff you could carve on. Here,
I mean, Death Mountain sounds like a name that would scare a lot of people, but not me, obviously, but a lot of people.
mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, you have your Goron tunic, right?
yeah, but I'm not sure I need it, quite honestly. I
Mm.
mean,
You'd
I
be
can
surprised.
fly. I got power, more powers. I've got like my pink tutu. I mean, that protects me, right? I wish that the tunic was also pink. I'm just, I don't know
You
if I
could make
want to
it pink.
ruin my. Oh, you can make it pink.
I feel like we could. I could like use prestidigitation to make it pink. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you can
More.
change your color, I'm more likely to wear it because I don't really want to wear something if it's not flattering to me.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
We're
see
gonna
if I
wake
have any.
someone else up.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
gonna
think we
say.
should wake someone else up, give them some food.
Yeah,
I feel so good. I don't just want to sit here all day. I want to do something.
I feel that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. While we wake somebody else up, I'm going to consult for if I have any spells that can make his armor pink.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll wake up Ledo and Gully. Okay, I can do that, and they won't be upset at me. I know him well enough.
Okay.
Leo can't get upset. He won't get upset at me.
Nah.
All right. So Stefan, I mean, would I mean, technically, Gully and Leto are both still asleep. So who would you like to wake up first?
Gully is clearly the best choice, but no, I mean I'm going for Ledo. I mean Leto's the tough nut to crack, and like why would he be upset with me? Gotta do this. Like no way Deacon could wake up Ledo.
All right. So you make your way into Leto's room, and how would you like to wake him up?
I'm gonna mage hand him, like tickle under his chin. If necessary, I'll stick a finger up his nose or something. But that's like a last resort, or maybe not a last resort, like a second or third resort.
Okay.
Maybe I'll prestidigitate his clothes to make them a little cleaner too, because he's looking a little nasty, and I don't want that to reflect on me. Yo,
All
Leto, Leto, smack across the face. Leto, wake up.
Okay.
Hey there, dude. How you doing? Are you waking up?
Yeah, I'm waking up now. By the way, I don't have a nose.
I cleaned up I cleaned up your clothes a little bit because I mean it was just a little fishy smelling.
I also don't have clothes. I just have
You don't?
armor on.
Well, your
Just
armor. That's
armor.
what I mean. I
Okay.
mean,
The
you're
fishy
clad
smell
in
is
it.
part of, like, me.
No, I'm not cleaning you up. I mean, that's your own job, quite honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. You sleep well? Do you have any dreams?
Yeah, but they're kind of personal and everything like that, so.
That's fine. I didn't really care, quite honestly. I
Oh,
mean, I
okay.
like you and all, but like, you want to know about my dreams?
Sure. I've never known what
Eh,
Gary thinks
you
of.
got you got to earn it. Maybe later I'll tell you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
So wait, do you leave my room then?
I'm going to
Oh,
murder
gosh.
you.
I have a question for Dekun real quick.
Sure.
So, can we get whatever we want in, like, our rooms?
It allows me to change it and shape it basically however I want. So yes. I would like to thank you,
Okay.
if I mean, Puck willing, I would like to say that you guys can basically shape it along with
Okay.
me. Like, if
And what
he's okay with that.
Stuffin
Yes, absolutely.
probably did not notice is Ledo has a body pillow and a smaller body pillow. Bigger body pillow is of Lynette, of, like, cuddling them. And
I love it. Thank you.
that's what he's doing as he goes
Man.
back to sleep.
Shikun would be so happy to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Well, Stefan is already waking up Gully because he just assumes Leto is going to stay up.
All right.
How are you waking up Gully? Not getting
Is
burnt.
Gully flaming or something?
I would like.
Well,
You know what? Yeah,
is Gully
take it.
actually in there or is he not? Because I know I think we have this mansion inside of the temple, correct?
No.
We have it at the
No?
base of Death Mountain with pebbles. That's
Okay. So we haven't actually. So he wouldn't be there. He would be sleeping in the temple.
oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Stefan's
Yeah.
gonna,
He would need
No,
to
that's a
get
fair
his.
point.
Yeah.
That's
He
a
would
fair
need to get
point.
his long rest in the temple. So yeah, he'd be in the temple.
We got that snazzy helmet
Stefan's
now.
going to go outside. Stefan's going to go outside and wake you up. I'm using the shape water cantrip. It's like a global water, and it's like dripping drops on your head to wake you up outside.
The temple is like 8 hours away.
Oh, I thought we were in the temple. I'm sorry. Okay.
No. We're at the very base of Death Mountain. This is like a fake lookalike of the temple, so that his followers thought that he was a little more magic, and because we didn't have any other safe place for them to stay, and because explaining 7th level magic to peasants is usually not a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, he would have enjoyed the feast and all of that, but actually sleeping, yeah, he would have vamped over to the temple.
Okay.
So Gully porting over to the. So you left your followers.
Oh.
Yeah, to go to sleep. Yeah, I certainly did.
All right. Okay. So you know what? I'm going to say that this happened. This all happened like after.
Wait, did I get I bought a helm of teleportation, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
So yeah, I can come. Yeah, in the morning I would come back though. Yeah.
Okay. So, but
Yeah, I'd get my long rest and come back in the morning.
Being the last to wake up, I would say that your absence does not go unnoticed. And so by the time that you wake up, there is like among the lesser intelligent and simultaneously more devout people who have followed you, there seems to be a bit of a panic happening. Um, they're like pulling at their hair. They're like, Gully has left us. We have been forsaken. And like the smarter people are trying to calm the other ones down. Um, and in the midst of all this chaos, you appear through via your helm of teleportation.
Yeah. And he doesn't just appear. He appears like towards the ceiling, and
Hell yeah.
he doesn't know how well this is going to work out, or if Dekun or anyone else is around. But yeah, he's going to appear like up there, and whether he comes crashing down or he comes floating down, he's making that entrance.
Rockstar style.
Yep.
Can I
Hero
spawn
pose when he hits the ground.
Hell yeah.
Deacon,
Whoa.
how tall did you make this thing?
That's a good question. To be
He's
honest with
probably
you, I
about to
did
take some
imagine.
fall damage.
Yeah, I imagine it's at least 20 feet. So
Woo! That's 20d6, baby.
no, it's
I'm
just
confused.
2d6.
Shouldn't he not be able to teleport into your
That's
your
true. I think
mansion?
you technically
I
need to enter
could
by.
have, but I wanted to make a dramatic entrance.
You want to rule
No,
cool
it's on
this?
So I would okay. How about Gully teleports outside of the mansion and he finds an open window. And he climbs in through the upper open window and positions himself on the ceiling and begins his epic descent.
Okay.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, what I'm going to do,
I don't have Featherfall.
yeah. So what I'm going to do
You
is
know
I'm
what?
going to,
I think I actually let me. Shoot, where's my thing? Because I think that is actually in my kit of spells now. But you know what? We're not going to worry about it. Never mind. Forget it. Nope. We're doing it.
Hey,
all right.
Gully, that was pretty. That was kind of awesome. I gotta say, like, really, I mean,
Bangarang.
kinda
Well,
awesome. I mean, like,
Ellie,
a solid 6.5 out of 10.
Ellie, do you want to
Six
look
and a half out of 10.
awesome or not? I can make you look awesome real quick.
I mean, yeah,
Do it.
we've got to make this. Yes, we
Okay.
got to really make this look awesome.
So
Yes.
if I see you, which most likely I probably do, I will throw a polymorph at you
Mm.
and turn you into a giant eagle. And as you're about to land, I turn you back into you. So you literally just now you're able to shapeshift too in front of your
See, it would
followers.
have been cool if it was like a fire elemental
I can't
or
turn you into
flaming
an
eagle.
Can you do a phoenix?
I cannot. Oh, no, I might be able to. Depends. But phoenixes aren't that big.
That's fine. We'll go with the eagle.
Okay.
Eagle it is. That's
So,
what that is what Ledo did. That's what happened.
so giant eagle comes through and lands, and then immediately pops into you, which I would guess, your flame aura would then, erupt. That might give you a little extra, just type of thing.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I do.
all right. I mean, I was going to have you simply make an acrobatics check to see if you could superhero
Good morning,
landing,
everyone.
but
Trust you all slept well.
Good morning. Always. How about you?
I slept quite well.
Nice.
How about you, my order of the Crimson Flames. How did you all sleep? How are your bellies?
Our bellies are full, and our hearts are even more so, because our sage has returned.
And your sage has a gift for you. You shall all forever be known as my Crimson Embers this day forward.
And
I
a
love that.
crimson embers, and cheers erupt from your embers. And they're like, we have been named.
Oh gosh. I have formed a church.
Oh,
Hey, Gully, can I ask you a quick question here?
Yes.
Yeah, why do they worship you so much?
You know, I think it's because the warmth of my flames that come off me just produces such a calming effect. I think that's why they're drawn to me.
Do you think they'd be willing to worship someone else? I mean, someone maybe better than you. I mean, I'm not saying that there's anyone better than you, but I mean, if there was someone better than you, what do you think? I'm
Well,
just saying,
I'm
hypothetically.
I'm not that vain, and should they wish to move on, I will not stop them. I only want what's best for my embers.
It's a nice name, by the way.
Thank you.
I definitely don't want anything to happen to you because you deserve um, their accolades and their admiration.
I mean, truly what I want is I really don't want the temple to fall in such disarray that is in. You know? So if we can be the spark that really, gets all the other sages on board so that we don't have, these decaying, dilapidated, empty temples, we want them full of life and hope and joy and yeah, so you know what? Great if they stay with me. If they don't, that's fine. But I just I'll absolutely love to grow my flock and to just you know spread the word.
Hmm.
That is a
I think
noble
it's.
cause. You know though that like what they say is that like if the temple's in disarray and if it's empty, like look thy within thine self for thine own failings. Um, so
Yeah, I
I mean,
inherited it this way. That's why I'm trying to change it.
okay,
Mm,
okay, I believe you.
I think that's a really good thing, Gilly. Honestly, I think you have the right idea. The more like we can get other people to realize they should take care of this stuff, like um, you know, uh, like yeah, I think it just will make the world a much better place and make sure this never really happens again in the future.
Plus, it's kind of lonely in there, and that's
Mm.
a huge place to clean and take care of by myself. I'm just saying.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean it's too bad you don't know useful spells like unseen servant and stuff like that. That just
Yeah, yeah, part of my life, I think I used to have access to those things, but I gave them up to become a sage.
yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. Some people would have just kept on the old life, grabbing power, and you sacrificed a lot, and I think that's noble. Some people would have tried to do both, and maybe there's ways to do that, but each within our own abilities, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. To each his own.
Yeah.
all right. So, the your flock of embers have settled down and are ready to continue on with their pilgrimage. I would like to point out that each and every one of them is wearing a Goron tunic to protect them from the heat of the ensuing travel. So is there anything anybody would like to do before venturing further up?
Question: were we going to the temple with them? Were we going, to Goron Village? What were we doing as a group? Because I left instructions for my followers once they got to the temple. So just, throwing that out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I personally I thought we might escort them up there, or at least to Goron Village. That was just what I thought, but I'm not married to the idea. If you had something else you wanted to do, Gully?
Oh, no. I was just saying, just in case we weren't and we were going to go do other more important things, Technically, I've left them a set of instructions of things that they need to do once they get to the temple. Like straightening up, cleaning, preparing areas for them to sleep, all that kind of stuff.
That's cool. I was gonna say maybe we could escort them up to at least Goron Village. See if we could buy them like trail rations and stuff to keep them sated, like make sure they're sated for a couple days while they do all that stuff.
Sure.
All right. Ledo, Stefan, does that work for you?
So, I actually have to go visit the Big Goron. So I was actually going to meet you up there.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, that's kind of good. Yep.
All right.
Hey, can I go? Can I whisper to Gully something?
Yeah.
Gully, can you use like a remove curse on Stuffin before one of us murders him?
Yes, I can actually.
Thank you. I I can see it in the eyes of every person he has spoken to. I know. Sorry, Stuff. You're doing a good job. It's funny, but yeah, it also needs to stop.
All right. So,
Since we had that discussion last time about how you can deattune temporarily with the remove curse, right? Does that still work?
that is still a function, yes.
Nice.
All right. So, Gully, do you cast remove curse on Stuffin?
Yes,
right.
I do.
Okay. So, upon casting remove curse, Stuffin, you feel. I guess the best way to put it would simply be you feel more like yourself.
I'm sorry. Do I not get a saving throw against this?
You know what?
It's valid, honestly.
Yeah. You know what? Okay.
You know what? It actually it has a spell save DC, which is odd, but it doesn't say willing creature or not. It just says one creature or object.
You know what?
So,
Well, I mean, that's roll 20. So you know what? Let's fate.
Well, imagine what for some reason, what I imagine it comes down to is a Benny Hill style chase scene.
So you know what? Yes, this is going to be what the save is. Since there is no built-in save for this particular spell, the way that we are going to view it is that you are dodging the touch. So give me a dex save.
Dex save. Okay. Question is, do I have anything that can benefit Dex? Ew, that's not so good. I think that's a 9. It's a 9.
That does not beat the save. So the way I word it is you overhear the whisper of Deacon asking Gully to cast remove curse on you, and you just immediately start like darting around as best as you can, and for a while, for a brief moment, you are able to effectively evade Gully until
Which
somebody.
means I fly away, right?
Yeah, because up, down, like you are darting all over this place until Barb throws a net on you from above, causing you to rescind down, and once you are on the ground, entangled in the net, Gully simply, narrate it. Barb has entangled him in a net. He is at he has failed to save, so he is at your mercy to for the spell. And in what method do you execute the touch part of the spell to execute it?
So Barb has him caught. So, thank you, Barb. We must release him of this evil spirit that is taking him over. I walk over, and I use but a single index finger and touch him.
So as the single,
but as I'm walking over, that the very tip of the finger is a bright glow, like radiant light.
like ET style.
Yes, exactly.
Billy, do you mind if I add a little something for you?
Go ahead.
I would like to use minor illusion to make it look like the curse energy is expelled out the other side of his head.
Okay.
Like just like a puff of like dark black oozy looking confetti that just disintegrates like those fireworks that with dark crackly.
Ah, good stuff. Yes.
All right, and with that, Stefan, you all of a sudden you start to feel more like yourself. In fact, you kind of like start to question some of the things that you have felt compelled to say, and you feel that this is a bit brazen and outside of your normal personality, and and you do connect it to the die. So with that, take it from there. How do you feel as like?
To me, I just don't. I feel kind of crappy, quite honestly. Like, I was feeling so good about myself today. I was feeling amazing. Was that the die that made me feel so good about myself, and you just took it away?
I consider us your medication for your bipolar mania diagnosis.
I don't know if I've felt so sad in a while. I just feel so normal. Like I was on top of the world before, but I feel normal. Maybe normal's good. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not so. Shit, I think I said some really insulting things to you all, and I'm sorry about that. That's just my upbringing a little bit. I don't know. I'm sorry if I said anything that offended you. That really wasn't my intention.
No, it's all good, buddy. Nothing wasn't you. It was dice.
Yeah, is it this stupid little die that I have? Do you want to take it? Does it make you feel better?
Smooth.
Then I'm going to feel even worse about myself if I do that. I don't want to give it to you. I'm sorry. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. It's just hard because it made me feel so good. It really is cursed, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how it gets you.
Yep.
Hey, what if we try to give it to like a Yiga or something?
I'd feel bad if I gave it to someone.
Yeah, but if they're like a bad guy, they're gonna.
Yeah, if they're a bad person, it's all right.
Yeah, but like maybe they're a bad person because someone gave them a fucking cursed ring. Or
Ooh.
Maybe they'll
magical
counteract each
balloon
other.
or something that like
Negative and negative equals positive.
Stuffin, are you
yeah,
holding
like we
the
gotta be
dice?
better people.
Are you
Should I
holding the
re-roll
dice out to like give to someone else?
No, I just asked you guys if you wanted it. It's still attached to his body or whatever, his purse, his belt maybe. I don't want to be the asshole. I mean, they say that like you can't figure out who the asshole in the room is. It's usually you. That's kind of I feel like this morning was. That felt so good. I never realized it felt so good to be an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Ever feel that way?
Deku nods. I remember the blissful innocence of when I first obtained these.
So how'd you guys get rid of it eventually?
I died and came here.
I actually gave it to someone.
Well, I don't want to die. They say that fairies can bring people back to life. But that seems kind of cruel if you think about it. And I don't have any fairies anyway, so I don't really want to die just to lose this thing. That would kind of suck, right? I mean, wouldn't that be cruel? Wouldn't you feel bad if you like just had me along so I could somehow bring you back to life? Wouldn't that feel awful?
Yeah, that would be shitty.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What if we find? I mean, okay. So, I have an idea. We find the silver Lionel at the top of Zora's domain, and we give it to him.
Listen, let's just do Death Mountain. I mean, you can remove this every day, it sounds like, so.
That's true.
I don't know what to fear. I'll be fine. I'm strong.
You got this. Alright, so,
I guess I'll meet you guys up at the top, or do you want to meet at the village?
We might be doing some stuff in the village, depending on how it goes, because I have no idea if I'm going to be able to successfully find food there.
Well, last time we were here, it was looking pretty good, so we shouldn't have any problems.
I mean, that's true, but you never know.
Okay, then I'll meet you at the village then.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll meet you at the top of the mountain.
The top of the mountain, or Big Goron?
Big Goron.
Okay.
Or if that's where you were going, because I want to see him too, and I feel like otherwise I will probably not get around to seeing him, and I would like to say hi.
Sure.
All right.
I'll meet you up there, and I proceed to walk out, look for a tree, and transport via plants up to him.
All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, teleport cannot contain the entire flock. Wow, that's a big thing I just put in chat. Yeah, I can only teleport 8 people, and then a 9th as myself. So, yeah. We gotta hoof it.
All right.
All right.
So we are looking at 4 hours of travel to get us to the area of Goron Village, and then I believe it's another 2 hours to get to the area of the Fire Temple. So, actually, let me bring up my travel encounters. So you know what? We'll take it one step at a time. We will go to Death Map. We'll go to the area of Goron Village first. But we're gonna have to take this one. All right, we will take this one roll at a time, but I will have all 6 rolls rolled at once. Since Ledo is teleporting, he's not with the party. I need 2 d20s from Deacon, Stuffin, and Gully. All right. So let me see.
Stuffin got a 14 and a 13.
14
and a 13.
14 and 13. Okay. All right. So upon traveling for the first, you know what? I'll do Stuffin's first. Stuffin, as you. By the way, are you not wearing your tunic? Now that you are not affected, so I'll say, like, as you start to make your way, as you start to venture up the mountainside, you are no longer affected by the dice, and you are starting to feel the absolute heat from this mountain. Do you don your tunic?
Yeah, help with the tunic on.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if Deacon found a way to make it pink or not, but
is it pink, Deacon?
For a couple hours, yes, it is. It is precipitated pink.
Okay.
Because I can mark things colors.
Sounds good. All right. So upon your first two hours of travel, or within your first 2 hours of travel, Stuffin, you find you notice a collection of stones that appear to be intentionally placed not far off of the travel route. Something glinting in there catches your eye. Do you investigate?
Of course.
All right. Give me 2 d10s.
Okay. Give me half a second.
Sure.
Okay, first one. Missed the die tray. 8 and an 8.
All right. So you kind of like peel, you kind of start moving some of these rocks to get to the glinting that you find, and you find 16 rupees.
Okay.
All right. Now we go to Gully, who got a 13 and a 17. Okay. Gully, you as well, upon the next 2 adventures of traveling, find kind of something embedded into the rock wall. Do you investigate?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a d10. And a d4.
And a D what?
A d4. Wait, I'm sorry. I think it's actually d6. D6, I'm sorry. I'll take the d4 because it's higher. Okay, so you find 1 rupee and 4 rare fire flowers on your adventuring up, and Deacon, rolled a 10 and a 19. Okay. I'll have you make it just for the sake of making it, but because I know you're going to pass. But give me a dex save. So as you know what, let's up this a bit. Everybody, give me a dex save that is traveling on the mountainside, because in the last bit of your travel, you have come across you've there have been a bunch of flaming boulders have started to shoot down from the top of the mountain. What is your dex save, Stuffin?
It's not good. I'll tell you that much. It is a 7 total.
7 total. Okay, so the dex save was 10. So for 5 points of damage. So Stuffin, you would take 5 points of damage. Everyone else, factor in your damages
Did you
accordingly.
roll my deck save?
Yeah, you rolled an 11.
Seem like okay.
Yeah, you got 11, and Deacon got a 26. So half damage plus resistances to those who have it for a base point of 5 points of damage. And for the last part of the trip, Deacon, you start to hear this almost like ethereal harp type music. You start to look around at first because you want to see if anyone else notices this music, and I would say no. Like nobody seems to be reacting to it whatsoever. But what would you like to do?
Copy it on my ocarina.
Okay. Give me a performance check.
Okay. Natural 20, 36.
You are perfectly able to replicate this. And I will, depending on your next action, tell you what the title of this, tell you what to title the song. Would you like to investigate the sound, follow the sound?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I am essentially trying to copy it so that they know that I'm not hostile. And
Okay.
then also that I like music.
All right. So you have
it was kind of like a peace offering sort of deal, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're able to replicate the sound, and you will also play it as you approach. Okay. So
I'm not sneaking up on anybody, you know.
All right. So you find a kind of like a hidden path in the mountainside, and you follow it out. Everyone follows it out, and you find a hidden fairy shrine. So, as the hidden fairy shrine, everyone who is in the party has any negative ailments, including being affected by curses, removed. Your health returned to full, and if you have, is anybody in possession of any empty fairy bottles?
Yeah, I'd like 2 or 3.
All right. So,
I mean, if I have like a wine glass that's empty, is that a fairy bottle for me?
It needs to be a specific fairy bottle. Because the fairies can break out of any other type of container. The fairy bottle is a special item in which they need.
Biscuit. I have a Featherfall token. I could have done my hero.
Dang. That's next time.
Yes.
Yeah, next time.
Yes. Let me.
So I have 2 empty fairy bottles.
Okay, sounds good. I am just since this is the first time we are dealing with fairy capturing in this campaign, I'm going to take a moment to explain the fairy capturing mechanic. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the fairy thing now, and yes, utilizing fairy will. You know what? I'll read the fairy thing as a whole because it encompasses everything. A fairy must be held inside a special fairy jar. A fairy may either be used to heal a willing player at any time of their choosing, or a fairy can automatically heal the player who has it in their possession at the moment of death. The fairy will completely heal the player and remove any status effects, both positive and negative. A player will suffer 20% XP loss. The loss of XP will not cause the player's level to reduce. If a fairy, is found in the wild, it may heal a player and remove any status effects without losing XP. If the player succeeds a DC 10 animal handling check. For the purposes of this, we are going to forego the animal handling check because it is fair enough late in the game that I don't think it's a necessary roll. A player may capture a fairy if they possess a fairy jar and succeed a DC 20 sleight of hand check. A player may make one attempt to pass both checks, but may not make multiple attempts on a singular check. So, let me, as this has been a fairly undisturbed fairy fountain for quite some time, I will simply roll a d20 to make sure that there are at least enough fairies present to be captured in the jar. And there are 3 fairies present. And you said you have 3 jars? Or did you say 2 jars?
2 jars.
2 jars. Okay. Perfect.
2 jars.
So, let's get
We'll
those.
leave one there to repopulate.
There we go.
They repopulate asexually, right?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really gotten into like fairy reproduction mechanics, but they do reproduce somewhere or another. So let's see that DC sleight of hand check. Let's take it one at a time.
Okay. 29.
29, you capture 1 fairy, no problem. And before we roll the second one, to kind of like flush out this function a little bit more, if a player ends up failing a sleight of hand check to capture a fairy, they can pass the jar to another player and have that player make an attempt, but not more than 1 attempt can be made per player per jar. So right now Deacon has 1 jar and 1 attempt to capture the second fairy as well.
Hey, speaking of, hey Gully, do you have any empty fairy bottles? I could fill one for you.
No, I've got 2, but both are filled.
Gotcha. Okay. 36.
All right. So you're able to fill your fairy jars with no problem whatsoever. And then you have continued to venture up to the mountain to the point that you have reached the outer gates of Goron Village.
All right.
Would you like to go in, or would you like to continue to venture up the mountain?
Do you guys mind if we head in for a bit? I would like to check on things here.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Heading to Goron.
All right. Oh yeah, we'll head in.
I don't think I might.
Hey, I need to talk to you guys about something really.
Oh, sure. What's going on, dude?
What were you? I mean, I don't want to kill a vibe or anything. I know I've been kind of an asshole today, but like, What were you doing with those fairies?
Ooh.
Um, I hold up the bottles.
Yeah, I mean, did you ask them at all? They wanted to travel with us, or
Hmm.
like,
Do you like
Yeah, so
very
far in our
thoughtfully
experience, they
convince me?
absolutely love traveling in bottles. Gets them from one place to the other safely.
I mean, I've been in bottles before, and it's not always bad, but like you want to be asked at least.
I
I
guess
mean, I
that's
don't,
fair. Here, I'll hand him over the 2 fairies I just caught, and says,
All right. Let me just peek over. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
I
a
don't
little.
really know fairy.
Maybe that's with it, and talk to them at
Sure, I
least.
would.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be the asshole again, but like,
Not good, dude.
yeah,
Since you represent your people, I understand.
Stefan raises a valid point.
I'm gonna open one. I'm gonna open the bottles here.
All right. You open the bottles. What do you do after you open the bottles?
Hey, come on out. I think we've been a little rude to you, and we owe you an explanation. We need a conversation. I mean, if you don't want to stay, you don't have to stay. But like, I mean, I just want to talk. I mean, even if you can come out and give us a minute to talk. Except I'm saying it in fairy, which sounds, I don't know what it sounds
Yeah. From the outside perspective, like everyone else outside of yeah, so everyone outside of
like.
Stefan has kind of like heard fairies making noises before, but this very well might be the first time that you realize that there's an actual language that is going on with these fairies. It is not just kind of like weird arbitrary fairy noises. Um, and they kind of like they come out of the fairy jars, and this conversation happens. And you know what? I will say that um, the general consensus amongst the fairies is that, I mean, they understand that, um, part of the greater purpose of a fairy is to protect and heal and restore life to um, those who deserve it. Like this is all part of like the conversation, and they say that we get an understanding that the healing that these fairies do are not just simply a function, but are a willful act. So that
Hey, my dudes, I totally get it. Like I've been there, been in your shoes. I used to be smaller, but then I grew. Um, you want to help people. Like listen, I'm traveling with this group of folks because they want to help people. Like they really genuinely try to help the world and vanquish evil. Um, and and I think they did what they did because they were afraid. Like people have almost died before, or even we know a lot of people who've died. Um, a lot, a lot of people who've died. Um, so they're kind of looking for anything that they can do to survive and keep the fight going. That doesn't excuse the way that we behave towards you. And I'm sorry I didn't say something a little bit earlier. I was honestly kind of afraid because like I've grown to value their friendship quite a lot. I don't want to lose that. but I want to make sure we're all respecting you too.
And one of the two fairies says to you, says, "So then you'll help us too."
Oh, interesting accent you got there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we want to help you. I mean, listen, we'll let you go if you want to go. By all means, just go. Like I'm not telling my friends this. I'm just gonna let you go if you want to go. But like, if you want to help us, we'll try to help you too. And we won't keep you caged in these bottles anymore. Like you can still live in the bottles if you want. They're pretty cozy, quite honestly. I've lived in a bottle for I don't know many years, so it was nice. But no caps on the bottles, right? I mean, whatever you want, you tell us what you want because we can be helpful. Like we're all fighting for the same cause. We're all fighting to get rid of evil and help the good guys and good girls and the good people in the world.
And so fairy number 2 whispers something to fairy number 1, and you hear the reply. The fairy 1, says to fairy 2, "But I know that he's big, but he doesn't look like one." And then like another whispering happens, and fairy 1 goes, "Well, I mean, I'll ask." And fairy 1 goes to you, goes, "Are
You eat fairies?
are you a great fairy?"
uh, I mean, if you'd asked me this morning, I would have said, "Oh, absolutely." But I mean, I think I'm just a very good fairy, is quite I honestly. At least I try to be a very good fairy. I used to be more like you. Here, let me try something here. I'm going to cast enlarge, reduce, and reduce my size to be closer to them.
Okay, so you reduce that down to the size of a normal fairy,
Yeah.
and and now from like the outside perspective, like you know, very little conversation, can be heard even further. Um, so I will kind of like narrate, and what the first fairy it begins to explain to you is that um, the great fairies of this land have disappeared, and the
Ah, shit, man, that sucks. I'm sorry.
the area that you found was a great temple fairy fountain, but there are 2 more across Hyrule, and every single one of them is missing their great fairy. So when they looked at you, and just purely judging by size, although they recognized that you were a fairy and you were larger than a normal fairy, the second fairy was curious if you were in some way a great fairy, possibly from another area.
Hey, man, I think I might. I don't think I'm a great fairy. I'm not a great fairy, but like I'm working. I mean, I don't know if I could be one or not, but like you deserve your fairies back. I mean, let me tell the other guys. Let me tell them and see what they say. I'm gonna share this information with everyone.
Okay. So,
Like, hey, these great fairies are gone. We might want to help them.
so also in the conversation when you're talking about like the jars and everything, they do explain that the fairy jars are less about captivity and more about protection, because fairies are incredibly squishy, and being kept in a jar that is carried by a much more durable person is a preferred method of transport. So okay, so you return to all right. So you with this information address the party, and what do you tell them?
So I think they're willing to come with us again, but like we just got to be super nice to them and like help them out a little bit too. Like they said that the great fairies are missing, and maybe you want to help to find them. Like maybe it's not just the human temples or the Hyrulean temples that are gone empty, but like temples all over the place are going empty.
DQ nods slowly. It's like, huh. We heard that. Sorry, I heard that once a long time ago. That sorry. That something happened to the Great Fairies, but we went to the Water Temple expecting to maybe see one. And they weren't there. Where they were, you know, we found an area where they were definitely kept a long time ago, but they seem to be going somewhere where even I'm not sure where they'd be. I'm definitely up to help find them though. If that's, I mean, honestly, that was always a part of the goal in one way or another, but I never really knew how to pursue that one. Also, yeah. Sorry. Do they want to be outside the bottle or something?
Well, they kind of want to keep traveling in the bottle because they think it's safe, but it'd be really nice if we could find a way where they could pop it from the inside also if they need to get out.
That makes sense. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Um. Huh.
I don't know. They seem pretty cool to me. Like they seem like they want to help, just like we want to help. We just need to make sure we respect them and listen, like check in with them every so often.
Okay.
And I don't want us to like all get killed and them to be stuck in those
Oh,
bottles either. Like they gotta have a way out.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, I'll tell you what. Sorry. Since you made friends with those two, why don't you keep them with you? That way you can make sure they're taken good care of, and we'll maybe we can like feed them or something. I do have
Yeah.
two that have been traveling with me for a while. I don't know if you want to talk to them too. If we should like have a thing
Oh,
where
you
we
got more?
feed them or
Oh
something.
yeah. We need to talk them all. I mean, if they're all as cool as this, maybe they'll want to help out. Like any fairies we gotta consent with them, right?
Yeah. Okay, I hand over my other two full fairy jars.
Yeah, I've got two as well.
All right. So how many fairies are we handing over to stuff in addition to the two?
I, I don't have to hold them all, but I want to like
Two
consult
from
with
me.
them all.
So and two for me, so four more.
Okay. All right. So Stefan, you have found yourself in the presence of six fairies, four of which you didn't know were there. They're all in jars, and they all seem to be healthy,
Wealthy and wise.
wealthy and wise.
The fairies need to breathe. Like,
No,
do I
they
need to breathe? Oh,
honestly. I mean, I would say that there needs to be a certain degree of respiration, but the amount of respiration that you need, given your size, versus the amount of respiration that a fairy needs, is a regular fairy is negligible.
okay.
You know, like these are not like airtight jars. These are not like sealed off mason jars. So there is kind of like some sort of whatever airflow can make it into a jar it is enough that they're not in any danger of suffocation.
Are they all willing to come with us? Any of them want to leave?
They all seem in high spirits. They seem that they have in conversing with them, they feel that this is a good adds purpose to what they're doing. But I will also like to add that you specifically notice a very distinct difference between some of the fairies that were captured, maybe not captured is the appropriate word at this point, but some of the fairies came from fairy fountains, much like the two that we've just introduced, but some of them are came from Hyrule Field. So not
Yeah, I
all,
think both of mine would have been from the field at this point.
yeah, I believe, you know what, as all the fairies have now kind of become, the 6 fairies have kind of become, you know, came together, a little bit mixed up. I'll say in general, 4 came from fairy fountains and 2 came from the field. But they all seem content in what they're doing. The ones
So
from
maybe
uh-huh.
what we do is every night, gonna keep your corks loose so you can pop them open if you the field too. I think I have supposed to have a higher voice. Yeah, so that way, like, if something happens, you can like pop your way out and help us out, and we want to help you too. And we're gonna try to find these missing great fairies. Like anything you can tell us along the way that would be helpful, let us know.
And you said it to the fairies?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, they are happy to hear that, and promise that if they need anything, that they would be um actually they do have a slight request. They hear
It's a
stories.
lobster bisque. I have some in my pockets.
No,
I can give you some lobster bisque.
they hear stories of Minish, and the things that and the reason that they bring this up is because they are slightly envious of the jars that the Minish have, because there's actual like stuff in the jars, like there's little tiny houses for them to be in, and fairies don't really need houses, but they do kind of just ask for just a little something, so it's not just like a jar, and if possible, um maybe a bigger jar, so at least 2 fairies can fit in a jar together.
And then suddenly there's 3
We're
fairies.
gonna work on that. We'll figure out something. I promise you. I'm good with making small stuff. I'm a jeweler, so I can probably make you some nice little furniture or something like that. I don't know. You guys
Wait,
feel
I'm
like,
sorry, I had to mute for a second. What'd you say?
yeah, I'm good with my hands. Like I'm got small fingers, and
Oh, okay.
I like making jewelry, so I can make small stuff for y'all. Like we can work it out.
I'd appreciate that. I could give you little things. Let's
Yeah,
see. What do I have?
we'll take some time to figure it out, and
Yeah.
we'll make you like a nice little living quarters.
Yeah, I think I even have a Minish jar in my inventory somewhere. Thank you. Minish.
Maybe if everyone posts
Oh.
little things that they have in their inventory in chat, we can figure out what
Yeah.
what
Let's
we got, what we
see.
can make.
Yeah. Let me take a peek. Because I have a lot of different like packs and stuff like that I haven't really opened and stuff. Thanks. Let's see. Okay. Do with little bits of fabric. I guess it's unfortunate because I don't have any like wood or anything for you to carve wood stuff in.
I'll figure stuff out. I usually work in
Excuse me.
metals anyway. Well, it'll take some time. I don't think it's going to happen right now, but maybe overnight, the next couple of days, I can work on it.
That sounds nice. Nothing crazy. Maybe just like a swing, or maybe just like something small and comfy to rest on. I mean, don't go through too much trouble, but maybe just some small things.
I just realized character creation. I never rolled my trinket,
Okay.
so I just rolled a trinket. I have a small idol. I got an 8 and a D100. A small idol depicting a nightmarish creature that gives you unsettling dreams when you sleep near it. It's an idol. It makes your dreams interesting. I'll stick it in one of the bottles for now.
Nice.
Man. Let's see. Most of what I have is like this bag of Lionel feed, animal parts. I added a little thimble of Veiled Falls water.
I could give them the elixir of potency.
Yeah, we might have to go hunting.
Yeah,
I do
I
have a
got the
Minish
jewelry
bottle.
kit, so I'll make them little stuff.
That works.
All right. So,
I guess I have one important question for you, Puck.
yes.
Did my Minish come with me through the Cataclysm after all this time?
No, your Minish did not.
Okay. But I have a bottle, and I'm gonna ask them to I'm gonna ask them if they want to live in the Minish bottle for a little while.
And let me, Stefan, do you translate this question for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like a Mimish bottle's a good thing.
Yeah. So, so they do point out and they say stuff, and they're like, just like, the easiest way to like do a direct translate to tell Deacon is, they say that the Minish bottles are gross. And specifically, like, more what they're saying to you is that they don't like the material that the Minish bottles themselves are made of. But they do like the stuff in the Minish bottles.
Yeah, they don't like the Minish bottles, but the Mimish, like the Mimish materials, whatever. Like maybe we can move that around and give it to them. They might enjoy that. Something fun.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, I have a sneaking suspicion I might need this Minish bottle for a potential one shot in the future. So I won't empty it yet, but I think we'll make things happen. I would love to maybe here in town we get them little shiny rocks. I'll
That's a
whittle afterwards.
here. Do you know what I'm gonna put a silver piece in, a rupee in each of these, so they can at least have a rupee each.
Let's see. Oh no, God! I have 5 bananas. I wonder when those came around.
Banana.
It's just so like let's look through our equipment inventory and throw out useless crap that fairies might like.
It's an inventory purging episode.
Endless fun.
Just gonna get rid of that extra set of like scale mail armor that you don't need anymore.
Here, I have this vial of poison. Um, yeah, yeah, I have a little bag of sand, parchment, a book of lore. That's helpful. That describes what that does. Let's see. A crowbar.
Hey Deacon, we're gonna start getting going right now. You can keep
Okay,
thinking about that.
fair. Um, I imagine after a certain point, Deacon is literally just like he has his head inside of his backpack, looking around. Much like the Happy Mask salesman, he has a backpack that's like 3 times his size.
Pretty much. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Okay. So you want to venture into Goron Village. So this is going to be an updated map, but we do not have the update yet, as we have been updating other things. So the last time that our party left Goron Village, in fact, actually, since Deacon, you were responsible for this, would you like to explain what happened the last time you left Goron Village?
So, since everything was in ruins after Romeo's defection and traitor, when he went turncoat, I used my spell Mirage Arcane, which is the 7th level illusion spell that lets you essentially how do I put this? It lets you change in about a miles area of just the land. So you can do things like produce trees and stuff where there are none, and you can physically interact with the trees. Like you can like it is an illusion, yes, but you can still climb the illusory tree. To the point where if you have true sight, you can actually choose whether or not you're interacting with the illusion. Um, and which is going to be a mighty fine party trick. Forget that for Gully now that I mention it. Anyway, so since you can create or hide structures, and you can do things like literally like turning a boggy swamp into a pleasant meadow, and it literally will just get rid of a mile of difficult terrain for you. Uh, and or change like a sheer drop off, a sheer cliff face into a gentle slope. Like it's basically like the travel spell. But the way that I used it was I used it to create a bunch of housing structures that because they are illusionary, they're technically indestructible and unlike phased by any kind of weather. Um, and they would still be about as comfortable as a real, like leather or whatever it is they make, leather or fabric hut. While being like massively more durable. Um, and essentially giving them a place to stay and rest their heads and protect themselves from like wild animals and dodongos and stuff. And I made enough for everybody because I could fit all this into a miles area. So essentially, yeah, I gave them all indestructible housing that would work for them. Now, caveat: only lasts for 10 days. So I tried to give them like a head start on getting their shit together, and after that they were kind of like on their own.
Yes. So it has not been like crazy beyond that limit of 10 days, but it has been enough time that the illusion has subsided. And um, I will
Time
say,
to go find out if I need to cast it again.
so I will say that the what you now are witnessing in Goron Village is you are witnessing a type of architectural, yeah, renaissance and rebirth, where
Cool.
you are not seeing, like, you are starting to see new buildings springing up. The uh, as you venture into Goron Village, the kind of like layout is still very, very similar, but what they are built, where in the past much of the village was huts, that was kind of open and more free flowing. You now see that they are starting to utilize like massive like they are stoneworking a lot of the stones from the mountainside into rather large um, square block shapes, and are starting to build houses with these stones.
Cool.
They have become it is, even like as you approach the village, you could hear um, the newly industrious nature of these Gorons, because as we first visited them early on in the campaign, they were a very complacent race. They were very content in what they that there was essentially there was no threat to the Gorons. The major threat to the Gorons was the Dodongos residing in Dodongo Cavern, and at the start of the Cataclysm campaign, or prior to the start of the Cataclysm campaign, the Dodongos were eradicated during the prologue. So with no threat, they became a very docile race, and we are seeing a very different side of the Gorons now. We are seeing them entering into this industrial renaissance where they are actively rebuilding and reshaping their town.
Aw.
So, I guess my first question is, where would you like to go in the town? Like, would you like to see any specific area, look for any specific characters, anything of that nature?
Honestly, if it's okay with Stefan and Gully, I'd like to see Chief Link at some point.
Any objections?
No, I'm fine to go any place.
Okay.
Lee also stepped away, so
Sorry, didn't see that.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, heading to the hut. Well, what actually was the hut? This is now a rather large stone building, and so one of the things that I'd like to do is I like to, when things may be a gray area of what is canon and what is not, I do like to take a moment to specify that Chief Link is a canonical character from a Nintendo standpoint. The prior chief of the Gorons, Darunia, in the events of Ocarina of Time, had a son, and because of the events in the video game, actually named his son Link. So Chief Link, now that Darunia was the prior Fire Temple Sage, and now that he has deceased and his son has grown up, the Chief Link is now the Goron Chief. So I felt the need to express that out. But okay, so you start to make way towards you know what? We don't have. Give me a history check.
Ooh, okay, that's fun. 22. Wow.
God damn. Okay. Not only there's something very familiar about this style of stonework. At first, you come to the conclusion that you're like, oh, it must have been part of my, like, you can't put your finger on it immediately, but you think, like, maybe there is maybe it came by the inspiration of your illusion, but there's just, and the more you think about it, you're like, no, this isn't the specific stonework that I illusioned in, but there's still something um, kind of familiar about it. And you make your way into or towards the chief's housing unit. And you are stopped by the guards, who don't look entirely too familiar, but they simply they ask you to identify yourself.
Hi. It me, Decoon. And then I point at Gully and go, that Gully, Fire Sage Gully, as he calls himself now. Title very important. And this our new friend Stuffin. And I point at Stuffin.
And the two guards present do kind of, I know I have 4 guards there, but there's 2. They kind of look at each other with and look back at you and say, do you have an appointment? Are these names supposed to matter to us?
I shrug. Well, we were friends with Juliet at one point.
You know the princess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. During the situation in the fire temple, we were part of the escorts.
Does anybody speak Goron?
I don't know. Oh no, I speak common, Deku, and Zora.
Okay, so one guard turns to the other, says something in Goron. The secondary guard walks back towards the building, and there's just like an awkward silence for, let's say, a minute before he begins to come back. So in that minute, is there anything you want to say, anything you want to do, anything you want to attempt to break the tension of the silence with? Kind of anything, not that you have to, but is there?
I'd like to ask how Chief Link is doing these days.
The chief as well.
That's good. How's Juliet?
The princess is doing well as well.
Ooh, princess. Hee. So, I bet she loves being called that. Didn't seem like her style quite. But, yeah, I'm gonna ask, if they've been, keeping an eye on the fire temple and all that stuff. They've, seen what's been going on with it and such.
The fire temple is it has been something that we've been keeping an eye on. Things have been quiet, and we have our Gorons up there, making sure everything is going smoothly.
Gotcha. I ask him like, so, like, do you know anything about the new sage? You know, I like gesture at Gully.
He's like, why do you keep gesturing to him?
Because he's the fire sage, and I feel like that. I mean,
Oh,
I
you know
understand.
that already? I could have swore he knew that already.
Oh, we're not at Chief Link. We're at the guards.
Oh,
Fine.
okay. Sorry, I'm back.
That's all right,
I
man.
didn't realize we're not at Chief Gully. So, Chief Gully, yes, the chief.
Chief Gully, I'm here for it. This is a mutiny.
Here we go.
Again. Here we go again, motherfuckers.
Oh geez, I am like scrambling at something right now. And so as you were trying to as you're trying to like kind of like bring this particular guard up to date with what is going on, the second guard comes back, and the intern does say something to the first guard in Goron, and the second guard, the first guard says, "Well, this has been an experience, but you are safe to pass."
Thanks. Have a nice day.
I'm sorry, you're permitted to pass, not safe. Oh man.
You can
Okay.
pass, but you're definitely not safe.
So you make your way into the new chief building, and
Ooh.
the where it was once like an open tented area with lots of kind of pillows strewn about, a very relaxing place. It is not so much that anymore, and again, something very familiar rings true in the decorative style of
I fucked up my arm again.
what?
Alright, so I can't wait for Chief Link to come out like, hey, I fucked up my arm again.
Oh, okay. So you come into a main area, and I would like to say that like there are banners hanging from the wall with kind of like Goron iconography onto it. But again, something very familiar about this style, and I'm going to keep stressing that. And then
Can
you
I do a
make your
history check?
you did.
Where's my 22 from earlier help?
You did. And it's all going to make sense in just a moment. As you come into the main room, you can see Chief Link, both arms intact.
Thank God.
Next to him, on one side, you see Princess Juliet, and standing behind her, you see a Gerudo. And all of a sudden, it all makes
I
sense.
pull out my crossbow.
The blocks make sense. The banners make sense. The moment you pull out your crossbow, Juliet chimes in and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?"
Sorry. Instinct. I haven't. Oh man, it's been a minute. Sorry. Last time things were dangerous here. Anyway, Deku literally like he just for like 5 seconds just 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. I believe this is the first official introduction to a Gerudo into this Cataclysm campaign. So, the Gerudo woman seems unfazed by you drawing your crossbow, but appreciates when it is lowered.
Wait, what?
She appreciates when the bow is lowered.
Fair enough. Man, I wish I could explain that to you. Okay, this is Puck. Check in the whole timeline thing to her.
What's that?
Did we ever explain the whole timeline thing to her? I think it kind of might have been prudent to do that, well, with the whole sage thing.
I believe it was explained to an extent, but we have dealt with the last time we were in Goron Village. It was so far earlier in the campaign.
That's true.
Yes. But as your PTSD subsides, this person doesn't specifically recognize you, but again, with that incredible history check, it comes to you who it is, and you realize that this person is not a threat.
Okay. All right. I expect the worst from you, Puck. I guess that shows.
Fair. But in fact, looking at it, it is not somebody that I have even ported over into this campaign. But nonetheless, it is Furiosa.
Oh. Okay.
So, that being said, there are, just as in any
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
I was completely right to point my crossbow. She was Ganon's faithful. I pointed at her again. I asked if she's still Ganon's faithful in this world.
Just, of course not. I have never been. Okay, now we are in new territory, and anything beyond this, including history, I'm going to require fresh checks.
Okay.
But okay. She does seem
like Mad Max Furiosa.
No, it is okay. So Furiosa is a fairly common name, like, for a Gerudo, but this Furiosa specifically was a character that was played by somebody in Deacon's original timeline. And I think may or may not have played in episode or 2 of the prologue, but has not played at all during the Cataclysm.
Okay.
So there is, which is why Deacon would recognize who it is, but I'm also saying that for the time being, with no checks or anything being made, Furiosa does not seem to recognize Deacon, and she also seems offended by the accusation that she is Ganon's faithful.
He sighs, puts it away. He says, "I how do I? Oh man, how do I talk my way out of this one? I don't think I do that.
Very carefully.
Yeah, very carefully indeed. I I say we've uh we've had a nasty business with certain timelines and Juliet, I think we explained this to you in the business about your grandfather, where we kind of come from a different place. We don't come from the Hyrule that you guys know. Where I came from, I traveled with a version of you, and I guess that version is gone now. I'm sorry. I am still very much adjusting to things that are happening to me.
Um,
You're not on mute. It's actually quite loud, Puck.
I was muted on OBS, not on Discord.
Okay.
Excellent.
I just made a little
That
bit of
makes
a
sense.
mess. Okay, so
I'm just giving them. I'm gonna feed them the truth. Like I'm not gonna try and weasel it.
all right, so with that, you know what? Give me a
Can I subtle spell something on myself? Glibness. All right. So what am I rolling? Diffuse. Gotcha. 35.
okay. Yeah, yeah, 35 will do it.
Do you mind if I fluff this slightly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Decoon is very clearly like just grief stricken at this point. Like the last time he came here, the thing with Romeo happened because he wasn't more careful about someone being a different version of themselves. Like literally, like that's why this was sharply on his mind.
Hmm.
And that like you know they were different, but they were different in a volatile, dangerous way. And well, let's just say volatile and dangerous kind of described Shirosa a little bit
Yes.
in the best of times.
Hmm.
They were good times, but they were the best of times, but in the best of times. Um and yeah, you know, he's just like clearly just like visible like cold sweat like it's more like a visible trauma thing than it is like does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, so you are able to
Got that like
um
the dichotomy of
yeah. So Furissa does kind of I mean she's never really in this interaction been um kind of off-putting or aggressive in any way, but she believes you. And she goes, "Listen, um I'm not sure entirely what your previous interactions that you speak of really have to do with me, but um, although you say that some form of me is that person, I am not that person. So uh, I have come here because I'm needed here. And my presence here, and at this point she gets interrupted by Juliet, and she goes, her presence here is necessary. She goes, she has helped to reinvigorate our people. I'm sure you've noticed as you've come through this town the stark difference in the time since you've been here last. She goes, I'm not completely clear what happened as you left this town, but things changed, and when they changed, our people became inspired by what could have been, especially when what could have been ceased to be, and since then, just things have taken, a turn for the positive.
Deku nods and kind of like he's like catching his breath at this point, but he does smile. He goes, "That was a last gift that I wanted to leave you. I wasn't sure how well it was going to work, and we were in kind of a hurry as we had to rush to the water temple, so I didn't get to explain it to anybody. But yeah, that was the only thing I had left to do. I'm glad it worked out. I'm sorry for my overreaction. I get jumpy. It's a DQ thing. It happens to us a lot.
Wait, you did that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
If you need any help, I could do it again.
I mean, we
Just teasing. It looks like Drosta has this handled. I'm sorry.
yes. I mean, I didn't want to deny such a generous request, but yes, we I guess it's once again due to you guys that you have changed things here for the better. But in your absence, as I'm sure there's no expectation of you being here all the time. We are just in a good place, and Furiosa is a good part of that, and she's been helpful to me as well as the community as a whole.
That's good. I'm glad you two are getting along. Let's see. Give me one sec. I offer her a Gerudo tonic as a taste of her homeland, as like a peace offering.
Been a while since I've seen something like that. And she accepts it. She says, well, perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. Let's say that this version of me and this version of you and this version of all of you are off to a good start. So, and so Chief Link kind of like clears his throat and chimes in. And he's like,
sorry, nurse, I'll be right back.
Sure. So he's like, and so what do we owe the pleasure of your return? Jolly, you want to take this one? I think.
And yeah, I got nothing.
Sorry. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, you're good. So Chief Link, I say, so what do we owe the pleasure of your return?
I wanted to say you might have more company in the coming days is all. I just wanted to let you know that we're revamping the fire temple a little bit, and yeah, initially I was going to invite you down there, but I have made quite the example of myself. I'm sorry. So but at the same time, at your leisure, we thought maybe you'd want to check it out or something. That's really all I came here for.
Oh, well, it's good to know.
And not to worry, no zealots, no crazies, at least that I know of.
So speaking of,
We come across some of those, we'll probably root them out.
so speaking of, what has happened to your embers once we've gotten into the village?
They're still going.
Are they continuing to make their way up, or are they outside, or have they entered into the village?
I don't. Did we get ahead of them?
I would say that you were traveling with them.
Oh, then yeah, they should be making their way up to the temple, through the city, through town.
Okay. All right. So, let's see. Yeah. So Chief Link is like, well, it's good to hear that the temple is in good hands and that you are making that you have plans to protect it, and that is being treated with the due respect that it deserves.
Absolutely. And of course, since we're here in Goron Village, and the temple is so close to the Gorons, we absolutely welcome the Gorons to return to the temple as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I did have maybe something I wanted to ask about potentially. I sorry, this kind of slipped my mind. Maybe I was gonna ask if you guys have any like food, like or if you have anything like that that we could set up. Obviously, I'll not asking for like free food, but I'm just saying like if there's like any place they could come down and like get their sustenance and such from.
Yes, their diet is very different from yours.
Yeah. I mean, we primarily dine on stones here, but since I mean, with Furiosa being the only non-Goron in the village, she generally heads out and restocks her own needs. But if you are, yeah, I mean, we could, that being the short answer, we definitely could, knowing that we will have an influx of non-Goron visitors to the village. Maybe it would be a good thing to set up. What kind of food do non-Gorons eat?
Vegetables, green things, fleshy meats, creatures.
I mean, creatures we could do. I mean, we could do a little, a little bit of that. In terms of vegetation growth, Death Mountain is not very suited for vegetation growth, but we can. I'm sure that we can create some type of agreement or trade route with another area to help with that.
Chief, that would be awesome.
Well, I'm happy to assist our fire sage any way that I can.
Thank you. Your generosity knows no bounds.
And also, I heard that that you guys were met with a little bit of resistance getting into the village, and I have made it my personal business to make sure that you are all recognized and welcomed upon returning to the village.
Oh, thank you.
And especially you, Gully, I will make it known that you will be the sage replacing my father.
I will do my best to serve in his stead.
Well, you have booked shoes to fill, but I trust that you will
Literally.
accomplish it. Yeah. So, he's like, is there anything that I can suit you up with for your trip up the rest of the mountainside?
Oh, I think we're good.
Yeah, I'm all good.
Just knowing that they are here and you are more than willing to invite them into your domain, and that's more than enough. Thank you.
Very well, very well. Well, thank you for stopping by. It has been a pleasure to see you again. And have you introduced Stefan yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, we did that at the beginning. I was trying to. Oh, maybe that was the guards. I'm sorry. I'm a dickhead.
And he turns to Stefan and he's like, and you too, my new friend.
Yeah. Hey, hi there. I just been listening, and thank you so much for speaking with us. Yeah.
Well, you may call me Chief Link. I am the chief of the Gorons, and this is my daughter, Princess Juliet. You travel with a good group, and anything that they are welcome to, you are welcome to as well.
Well, thank you mightily, sir. And Juliet, it's nice to meet you. That's a lovely, lovely name, I gotta say.
She gives a big, wide-mouthed, toothy grin, and she's like, "Thanks."
Oh man, I like your accent.
He likes everyone's accents.
All right. So at this point, you do start to hear, excuse me, what is growing to be a familiar commotion outside of, like, towards the rest of the town. What would you like to do?
Time to investigate, maybe?
All right. So, heading out of the chief's building, you see that, once again, a crowd has formed in the center of town. And it is Gully's followers, and they are preaching about those who should be part of the Fire Temple family.
Love it.
A crowd is starting to gather. Is there anything that you would like to do to interact with this situation, or would you all just like to watch and see what happens?
I absolutely want to watch and see how this goes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
what can go wrong here?
What's that?
What can go wrong here?
Exactly. All right. So, the speech that is given by one of the followers is almost verbatim the speech that Deacon and Gully were giving back in Hyrule Castletown. Very little deviation from it. Very little artistic license taken.
Oh gosh.
It's almost as if
It's kind of impressive.
the speech was written down and is part of some type of gospel that might be forming.
The doctrine of Gully.
So, Gully, give me a D6.
D6 coming right up.
Aced it. All right. So when he gets to the end of the speech and gives the Jerry Maguire "Who's Coming With Me" bit, you gather 6 more Gorons,
Awesome.
bringing your total flock up to 27.
Yes,
Hell
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And with that, they seem to be ready to go. They have done their bit. They have preached their gospel and grown their flock, and now they are ready to continue their pilgrimage.
I'd like to see if there's anywhere, like, before we head out, I just want to see if there's anywhere in town that I can source up some, like, ration type stuff, like, already, that might be around.
Like any regular food ration?
Yeah, just anything that I could feed these people.
Nowhere present in town. You
Fuck.
you do recall Chief Link explaining that any food that may be present is food that Furiosa has gathered.
Gotcha. Huh. Give me one sec. How long does create food more or less? Okay. Huh. Sorry, just thinking. All right. Thanks. Sorry. I am unsure if now is the time to be asking her for favors, so I'm just gonna let that sit for a bit.
Okay,
And I have a rough idea of what I'm gonna do.
fair. All right. So, yeah, you can see that the flock is starting to exit the town and make their way up north. Do you join them?
Wait a minute. Where's Ledo?
Ledo? Are you asking like in character, or
Well, in general.
Ledo was up at the top of the mountain
Okay.
with the
Okay.
Big Goron. I was actually like, as we leave the village, I was gonna like switch over to that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I actually, I'll go ahead and finish the trek with them to the temple and give them final instructions on the way there, and pep talks and all the good stuff because I may be away for a little bit.
All right.
Depending upon what our next steps are.
So we start making the final trek to the fire temple. So now we are going to switch over to Ledo, who for the past 4 hours has been at the Big Goron. So, Ledo, let's pick up at your teleportation.
Okay. So I open the gate and I come out at the Big Goron's lair or home. So I left tiles there that I can come through that were plants.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk out and go, Big G, long time no see.
And the ground shakes and crumbles as the Big Goron starts to emerge. And as his imposing size looks down on you, it's like you hear him say, "Hello. How are you?"
Doing great. And yourself?
I'm keeping busy.
I understand. So I came here to see if you can help me with something, if that would be possible.
It might be.
So I take out the two moon sickles that I have and go, I was wondering if you can put these together and make it stronger for me.
He said, he looks and says,
I know they're kind of tiny, but
just lie them on the ground.
okay. So I put them on the ground. Actually, I walk towards him a little bit so that way he doesn't have to reach as far and put them on the ground and step back.
Says, you may want to step away further.
I step away further.
He takes his open palmed hand and with a thunderous smack crashes down on these two +1 moonsicles.
Mm-hmm.
And what appears to be what's that called? It's not cold fusion. It's like it creates so what you see is you create when he like slaps down on these two items, it creates a bright luminous effect beneath his hand, not like a spark, but just like a like a bright kind of thing, and you can hear a high high pitched sound, almost as if like they were being scraped on like a chalkboard. And he kind of, once he finishes putting a fair amount of his weight onto it, he lifts it up and you can see this giant handprint where his hand was. And only one moonsicle.
Okay.
And he looks at it. He goes, that was easy enough. And it is +2 now. He has merged your 2 plus 1s into a plus 2. He says,
no, go ahead.
You came all the way here just for that?
Yep. And to check on you.
Oh, I'm still here.
By the way, can you see like a silver lionel up there somewhere?
No silver Lionel up here.
Well, no, like higher than you by chance. Like I know you're really tall. Maybe you can see up like the next hill.
He looks around and you can see like there is no higher hill than where he's at.
Okay, just checking.
So I can see
All right.
a lot from up here. And he points. He points towards Zora's domain. And he goes, there's one.
Oh, interesting. That's changed. Okay. Do you need anything before I go?
No.
Okay. If you ever need me, just kind of chuck a rock somewhere, and most likely we'll hear about it.
And he goes, okay. And he picks up a handful of rocks.
Okay.
And he chucks them down the path of Death Mountain.
Sweet. Works for me.
Says,
that'll work if you ever need us.
Says, like that?
Yes. Make sure there's nobody in the path of them when you throw them, though. Don't want to hurt anybody.
I would like to say timeline-wise, like these were the rocks
good.
that the party ran into as they were traveling up the mountain.
Oops. Well. Okay. Well, if you're okay, I got another thing to do, so you just keep chilling up here, and I'll be back sooner or later. I pick up the
here.
goal. Okay. And I polymorph myself into a giant eagle and fly down to the entrance to the cave to the fire temple.
Okay. So, with that minimal interaction, you are going to get to the entrance of the fire temple. Let's say 3 hours before anybody else.
It's perfect. I actually have some stuff I want to do.
Okay.
First of all, there's. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, well, I was going to ask you like if you wanted to address it now or wanted to address it later. But yeah, go for it.
I can do it real quick.
No, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to do it quick. I'm just trying to pace it.
Oh no, there's nobody with him, so he's gonna just do everything he can, keep himself busy because they're supposed to meet him here.
Okay.
So he goes to a wall of vines that he uses for travel via plant, and this time he's like, okay. He goes over the wall again and basically trying to create grapes and other little fruit to hang off this. So that way the people that are going to be here will actually have some kind of food to go with later on. It's just making like a single layer. So if they survive, they survive. If they don't, they don't. But the fruit will be there.
Okay.
Since it'll be in the sun, that's a good thing.
What 2 fruits besides grapes?
Apples and oranges.
Okay. All right. So you create a in Apple, Orange, and Grape Grove.
Cool.
By the entrance to the Fire Temple.
Yes. Next, I would actually like to go into the area of the temple. I want to be like right next to the door where you would first enter
Mhm.
the actual temple itself and outside. And I'm going to take as long as I can, and I will do plant growth because it goes in all directions, and this will make the soil inside of Fire Temple now more soluble that it could possibly grow things, and everything inside the cave too, including the berries outside the cave, should be affected by it too. So then all they need to do is get some seeds, and things might grow inside of here.
Okay.
I'm taking
Sounds
the longer version, which I'm going to try for 8 hours, but I know it's going to interrupt, but I'm going to try my best for it instead of this single quicking cast.
okay. Sounds all right. So that sounds good. Okay. So that'll put us to a point that we are again switching over
Yes.
to the party
That's what I was
who
hoping.
is traveling up, and let's say let's take 3 more encounters. So Deacon, Gully, and Stuffin, give me each a d20 for traveling encounters. A 6, a 12, and a 2. Okay, so 2 of those are no encounter.
So I think it's only the 12
I
and
got
the
a
2.
Okay, a 12, a 2.
I
The
got a
6
nine.
was my
Yeah, that's from
the
before.
last roll for the.
Okay, gotcha. A 12 and a 2, and I'm sorry, what was yours, Stuffin?
Yeah, I got a 9.
9. Okay. Excuse me. The 9 and the 2 are no encounter. The 12, however.
Uh-oh.
So
Get it now, Gully.
here we are. Are you ready for this? As you're traveling up the mountainside, you come across not even a cave, just a small inlet. Not enough that you can really travel in, but just enough to create like a little pocket of shade. And as a pocket of shade becomes pretty tempting at this point in the day, as you get closer, you realize that there's something lurking inside that pocket. And it is, in fact, 3 fire keys. What would you like to do?
Breathe on them, and they're dead.
Pretty much.
He will invite the Fire Keys to join him at the temple. They probably don't understand a word he says, but hey.
No, which is why we're going to make it an animal handling check.
All right, animal handling. Where are you?
Yeah, fuck it.
I am not good at that.
21. All right. The 3 fire keys become non-aggressive, and they might not completely understand what you're inviting them to do, but they're happy to come along with you.
Awesome. We've got some pet / mascots.
Yeah. So, all right. And so with that, as you start to approach the entrance to Dodongo Cavern, and as a quick refresher, Dodongo Cavern is what leads to the Fire Temple. So as you start to approach the Dango Cavern, you notice that from the outside that there are a number of vines and a small number of trees present outside the entranceway, which were not there prior. As you get closer, you realize that the trees are bearing fruit, but the fruit is dehydrated. The grapes are growing raisins. The apple trees are growing very sweet looking dried out oranges, and same with the apple trees. It appears to be this naturally occurring phenomenon, which would be a safe assumption if you attributed it to Ledo, but there is nothing indicating that at this point. And what happened is, yeah, it's bearing fruit, but it's bearing dried fruit. Is there anything you'd like to do before going inside?
Yeah.
I don't have produced water. As this chunk is kind of dry. Gonna need a lot of water to keep it going here. Otherwise, it's just all gonna be. Well, you know what? This actually might be a good thing.
Well, I will say that as you inspect the ground of the surrounding area, there does seem to be a certain degree of vegetative effect starting to creep its way out of the Dango Cavern. So the trees themselves the trees and the vines are getting the nutrients that they need to produce the fruit. It's simply the inhospitable heat from Death Mountain that is causing these fruit to dry out. Would you like to try to consume some of this fruit to try to test it?
Man, I'd like to consume some of this heat.
Well, I will say that if you eat any of the apples, you will try stuffing?
I'll try it. I'll try an apple.
All right, you try an apple? Okay. So the apple is admittedly a little bit tough to break through the skin. And funny side story. I know this because when I was little side story. When I was 12 years old, my first job, I was a paper boy. And one of my customers, as a Christmas gift every year, would give me a box of dried cinnamon apple slices. And they were so good, and I loved and appreciated, and I look forward to it every year because I did this for a number of years. But one of the things that stuck out to me was how unbearably tough the skin was. Like I would end up eating it like it was an orange and like peeling away the skin and eating the meat of the dried apple. So yeah, as you like pick a dried apple off of the tree and try to bite into it, breaking through the skin does prove to be met with a little bit of difficulty. But once you break through the skin and get to the meat of the apple, it is incredibly sweet and delicious.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, not so bad once you get through the tough exterior. I mean, kind of like me if you think about it, metaphorically speaking.
All right. So, anything else before heading in?
Stuffin will stuff some of the apples in his pockets.
Fair.
Did all the breakfast foods disappear from his pockets?
That they did.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, extra room for apples, I guess. grapes and other things too.
Gonna keep all the doctors away.
Raisins, I guess.
I think Gully will probably have some of the raisins.
Nice. Picking some raisins off the vine.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And anything from you, Deacon?
Nothing that I can think of. Sorry, my brain is really foggy. I'm very tired.
I got you. All right. So, going into the Dango Cavern, you can see that this lush vegetation has sprawled throughout the cavern. I will say that it's like as we get to it, but once we get to the entrance of the temple, this vegetation would not. There's like a something preventing this vegetation from extending into the temple. But the entirety of Dodongo's cavern is becoming a lush environment.
Nice. Guys, this is not naturally occurring. This has to be the work of Ledo. What do you guys think?
That makes sense. I hope he's safe here. Well, I mean, of course he's safe, but hope he's doing okay.
Yeah.
You think Ledo did all this?
I think so.
I mean, you don't think that just, I don't know, they grew like this? Could have been other magical forces.
I mean, I'd like to think that I've been a positive, influence force for the temple, but yeah, I don't think I've been that positive. I think this is definitely the work of our buddy. Or this. I hope. Well, even if it's not, this is a good thing.
Yeah, dehydrated fruit lasts longer.
Oh, yes, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right. So
maybe Ledo could start a side business. Ledo's Emporium of what would be like raisins and dried apricots.
Oh, those.
Can you fight evil with dried apricots?
If you believe hard enough, yes. As long as you cast like magic stone first.
I am looking for a vegetative patch. Oh, there we go. Give me a second on that. All right, let me see how that does. Okay. And it worked. All right. So you make your way into the Dodongo Cavern. Is there anything that you are looking for before getting to the entranceway? To the Fire Temple.
Well, talk about vegetation and the fruit and food. I'm looking for Ledo. Looking to see if I can see Ledo around.
All right. So you kind of like keep an eye out looking for Ledo with a very kind of strong inkling that he is behind this in some way or another. And when you get to the far part of the temple, the far part of the Dango Cavern, you find him kind of in the entranceway.
Cross-legged.
What's that?
Sitting on the floor, cross-legged, just kind of eyes closed, just hands on the stone itself.
Mm.
I believe we, I believe we've actually done this spell together at some point. Would I kind of recognize this in you, Ledo? Or
Yeah,
um,
this is definitely what we've done together. I just pushed it a little bit further.
word, cool. Yeah, I'll relay that. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
You're good.
yeah, I'll just relay. You know, he's been growing everything, and it's cool. We probably shouldn't disturb him. This is, I don't know how much time he's had, but this is a very important spell. Could really change things around here.
At this point, he has been running the
Um,
spell for 4 hours,
okay.
so he's halfway there.
Yeah, nice. I yeah. So I'd like to potentially sorry. I know that it's been a while, so I don't know if this is still any good yet. I gotta check Chimkin's inventory if you don't
Mhm.
mind. Trying to find her. Uh, wait, no. Okay, yeah, her inventory is still in the other instance of the game. We never ported her over here.
Oh, we gotta do
Um,
that.
yeah, sorry. Oh, wow, this looks nice. Wow. Sorry, I kind of I kind of missed a little bit of what was happening. I apologize. Um,
You're good.
but yeah, wow. You can kind of looks amazed when we get here as he like sees behind what Ledo's been doing. Um, and yeah. Anyway, I mean, I was gonna see if I could like de-ration all of my like packs that I've bought.
Okay.
I just well, basically, I'm just trying to like gather like food for everybody. Um, kind of out of like my inventory and stuff. Sorry. Um, oh, actually, you know what? I have an idea. Hey Gully.
Hmm.
Um, I just realized something kind of important that we might have forgotten about. Um, technically speaking, you don't just need food, you need like water. Um, water is going to be hard to come by around here, most likely. Um, but I could probably cast a spell that will provide that if I cast create food and water. Um, so that they have enough because the rule is written it's a gallon of water per person per day. It doesn't matter to follow that strictly, but um, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I was just thinking like maybe if we could get some container vessels or something, I could get some water in here.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Oh yeah. Do we have
I
anything?
didn't think to start a supply route to send water this way.
Yeah, I mean we carried over the food, but I didn't think of the water. Can I kind of will it ruin his concentration if I like telepathically talk to Leto so that he can like still kind of focus on his stuff, but he like doesn't have to go through like physically
And I always
responding
go
to me?
back to Hylia and round up a cleric.
Ooh, that's true. That's true.
If you only,
Hopefully, maybe.
if you had a water sage.
All right.
Yeah.
Woof. But anyway, yeah. Can I like? Is it okay if I talk to Ledo, Puck, or will that break his concentration?
It would not break his concentration.
Cool. So I'm gonna ask Ledo and like if he like it looks like he's been working really hard. Do you have any Do you mind if I ask what you got planned?
Oh, hey, you know I could do this. Yeah, this will don't have to need about it. In the next phase, I was planning to go inside the actual temple, since I think Gully might have like
Hmm.
control of it, and then see if I can make a water source for
That would
them.
be awesome. Okay. Thanks, Ledo. You're the
I got
best.
like 4 more hours before I can do that.
Okay. I'll forward it on, and I just kind of relay his words to everybody else. And yeah. Honestly, yeah. Holy shit, Ledo. You've outdone yourself this time. To be honest.
As always. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Such a stand-up guy.
Are you
Always.
still in my head, by the way?
Yes.
I
It'll
will
last for
tell you.
a couple minutes. Sorry.
I'll pass on a message to you to tell Gully that as his prayers, as his whatever his domain has become like this due to the fact of the prayers of his righteous right hands, and you can say I'm one of them.
Perfect. I will. I'm gonna drop the telepathic link for you, Ledo, so that I can give it to
Mhm.
Gully. So that he doesn't
Right.
hear me. Yeah. But yeah. Ooh, I want to be one too. Maybe we can all make little crowns or outfits or something. That would be cool. Gully, we need to make
Yeah.
matching outfits.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
Doesn't
Right
wear
now, they
clothes.
technically have
Fair.
matching outfits because of the. Well, are you talking about us or them, the followers?
Yes, all of us. Like
Technically, we have matching outfits because of the tuning.
ooh, that's true. That's true. Maybe we could doctor it up a bit, like kind of
Yeah.
celebrate it a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Would you be interested in that?
Of course,
I'm so
because
I'm
it's not a cult
yeah.
at all. They
No.
don't all need to wear the
So
same thing.
uh, sorry if you don't want to, we don't have to. Genuinely, like, is that a pass? That's okay.
No, it's fine. It's cool.
Okay. It's like honestly, I really like. I know Gully's armor is like already kind of regal, but I wanted to ask if you want like an insignia.
I mean, who says no to an insignia on their armor?
Yeah, like because I have this disguise kit and this forgery kit, so I should be able to like kind of like gently engrave and like gold leafify like a mark of your on your armor or something if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's already gold trimmed because of Gabriel's work on it. And yeah, I feel like this might be the extra thing to go if you're interested in that.
I like
Like
it. Yes.
nice. So yeah, maybe
Hey,
we take an hour or so to like draw out a symbol that you think is cool, and maybe we could do that. If you want to pack one for MS Paint or something in some time, or I don't know, or even just fluff it. I don't know if you have anything in mind, but yeah, we like suss that out over an hour or two.
Okay, we can come up with something. No big deal. Yeah.
Nice. Oh man,
hey, are you talking about like a total fashion makeover for everyone?
that would be kind of cool. I mean, I know you look stunning in pink stuff, and but yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, maybe you were on the right track with like maybe red's not the only thing because crimson is very good, but like I, well, they are the Crimson Embers. I was just thinking maybe we could like accentuate it a little bit so that everybody kind of has like a rank and stuff like that. Maybe I don't know.
I just feel like Hyrule Town must have like a fashion designer or something, someone that
That's
like
true.
really knows how to accentuate
That's
and
true.
accessorize.
Yeah, they
We
might
could
know.
get everyone like custom. Everyone everyone in the Embers could get like custom jewelry to go with it. Like they get a necklace or a bracelet or something. I mean, we could
Oh
even
yeah.
get custom tattoos.
Ooh, that might be a bit too permanent. What do you think, Gully? Is there anything you think they could use to snazz them up a bit?
Oh gosh. We won't force tattoos on them. But why am I? Yeah.
Well,
But
they don't force tattoos, but like, don't you want these people around forever? Like, don't you want them like permanent followers?
you know, if they don't want to live forever, I'm not going to force them to.
That's
But
true.
for those that do, yeah, sure, I'm all for it.
Yeah, like you get a tattoo and it gives a sense of like belonging and identity. They can get all like flaming tattoos or something.
Ooh, that would be kind of metal.
Yeah.
Then other people are gonna see and be like, "What's that awesome tattoo?" And be like, "I can't tell you unless you want to join." Maybe you could hire a recruiter as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That would
not
be cool.
sounding cultish at all.
Not even a
No,
little bit.
no, not at all.
Not even a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
think that the permanent tattoo might be a step too far.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, Gully. But
Well, golly, they're your followers. You get to decide.
mm-hmm. You're the boss.
Now, if we
Like, how
have
metal do you want to get?
maybe if we have
You could.
pendants, yes, they
Ooh,
can wear those instead.
I could.
that's
I could do
perfect. You
pendants.
have
Yeah,
the
I could.
permanent.
I could forge pendants.
See, there
Yeah.
you go.
Actually, yeah. Okay. Let me see if I have anything that could be forged into it.
Maybe. Maybe if they forge pendants, they could cut off like the tip of their pinky finger and put it in the pendant to represent their loyalty.
This is coming from the fair that wanted to make sure we save the other fairs and take care of them, eh?
It's all about agreement and consent. You know, consenting fairies can be, well, they can be pretty wild. Let's just say that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So, um,
Deacon, you look
yeah.
uncomfortable with this conversation. Are you? Does this make you uncomfortable?
No. I just I feel like I don't have enough cast of regenerate to get everybody their pinky back, so kind of gotta.
You don't need to. It's an act of sacrifice. It's the
No,
sacrifice that make
no.
people
We're not
feel.
making people sacrifice their
No.
parts of their body. Nope.
Sacrifice in general, I
Deacon,
feel
if he
like kind of.
sacrificed,
You know,
you
stuffing.
just
Maybe you can
grow it back,
convince
right?
one of the other new sages. I think we'll pass on that practice here.
We're,
Your call. You are the great Gully.
You know, maybe the shadow sage would be all for that.
for real. God.
Hey, Gully, to think that this morning I was ready to try to steal all your followers away from you, and I don't feel that anymore. I just want to support you with whatever you want.
Well, you know, I'm glad you had a change of heart, but what was leading you towards the route of wanting to take my followers away?
I mean, it wasn't the feeling that you were incompetent or anything. It was just the feeling that I was better than you, and,
Oh,
and that's
wow.
wrong.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
wrong. I
okay.
understand that now. But like, the ring was making me think these crazy thoughts.
Mm, the ring. Got it. Okay.
Or not the
Yeah.
ring, the dice. Sorry.
Well, you know what? In that case, we'll definitely give you a pass.
Well,
I don't want to call myself. Let's just be clear. I don't want to be. I'll be a cult leader.
um, hmm. Maybe we make sure that bright and early he gets his remove curse every day.
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm all for
To
that.
yeah, me too.
I don't know what you guys are worried about. I'm feeling fine. I'm all good. You're all
I
good.
bet you are right
Ellie,
now.
you're good. Deacon, you're good.
Yep, first thing in the morning. Even before he wakes up, probably. Mhm.
Yeah. Why do I have a bag of Lionel feed? What did you say, Puck?
Is that before he even wakes up?
Yeah, exactly. Just like, all right, we need to take care of you.
The second you hear the dice like rolling around in that bag, you're like, get the remove curse ready.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, Puck, I should ask you. You said that the fountain that we visited removed curse, but it was just temporary. Oh, excuse me, temporary. I assume
What's that?
the fairy fountain we visited. You said it removed curse, but I just want to be clear. Like that was just temporary, right? It's not permanently like.
Right. It doesn't. Okay. To I guess rephrase it more specifically. It would if in terms of the dice, it would remove the effect of the curse. Because what it is the dice itself is an item that generates a curse. But if you were to be suffering from it, like if you were to have a curse put on you by other means, it would remove that curse. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So what it is
So you're saying
well, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm listening.
So you're saying it creates an effect.
Yes.
Okay. Is it by itself a created effect, or like how does that work? Like the attunement to the dice that makes it follow you, is that like a created effect?
So now we're getting into like deep lore, and I'm going to forego any checks on this, but okay. So since I know that I have with the Deadly Sin die, I know that I have kind of referred to it as a cursed item, but to kind of refer to it more specifically, it is a very, I guess, like simply an ancient item would be a better like a better fit for the terminology. And as a function, it generates a curse to the person it is attuned to, which is why a remove curse does not remove the item from the person, but it removes the effect, because the effect is an actual curse.
Gotcha.
So remove curse happens, but it will not prevent other curses from generating in the future, which is why it can become a daily thing.
So could I cast dispel magic on the remove curse spell to get the curse back?
No, I believe once remove curse is cast, the curse itself dissipates. But yeah, so the dice itself pretty much needs to have a host. And so what I'm going to once again what I'm going to divulge at this point was that it had a host prior to Stuffin. Does anybody know who that host was?
I'm guessing it was Reggie because it was next to his spirit.
Yes. So,
but like,
okay.
Oh, sorry. No, by all means, you go first.
Okay. And I think I know what you're going to ask, and I will address that too. So when Stefan reached in for the die, he essentially from the function of the die, he accepted the curse from Reginald. Now, where I think you're going to go is I'm going to point out another previously established function on the die, and that it is if you try to dispose of the die in any way, and by extension, if you try to distance yourself from the die at any point, it will make its way back to you. Specifically, when it needs to re-roll itself. So, from a chronological standpoint, I am saying, like, the safe was opened, Reginald escaped out of the safe, Stuffin reached into the safe and grabbed the die. From a functional standpoint, had Stuffin not reached in for the die at the start of a new day, that dice would have reattached itself to Reginald. Did I answer your question before you asked it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, so what's up?
But that is cool. That is funny. To be honest with you, though, I did forget what I was going to ask.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I think it was something like, God, what was it? Fuck. Yeah. Oh.
It involved woodchucks and chucking wood.
Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask, like, so, like, this pride thing kind of seems like you just gave Stuffin his first oath of, like, methamphetamine. It's kind of seeming like he might be addicted to pride.
I mean, it could have a lasting effect.
Stuffin, my man, I think you have a problem, and this is an intervention.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
You don't need pride to have pride.
Listen, I'm totally okay without pride. Just because it made me feel really, really good doesn't mean that I have to go back to it. I mean, it's not like. Is anyone ready for bed? I'm getting sleepy.
I can quit anytime I want.
Yeah, I can quit anytime I want. I just want you to know that.
Next, it's gonna be like he's just trying to like cheat the dice into one. It's like, oh no, I rolled the dice. He just drops it on the floor casually.
Whoopsie! I'm so clumsy.
I'm good at re-rolling dice too, so maybe if I get something else, I can try to re-roll as a one.
Nice.
I mean, you do have that ability.
God, that's funny.
Yeah, so
I know you're like just itching and twitching and just tweaking out. You don't got any more of that pride?
And by the way, what's up with Ledo not having a nose? That's really weird. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's kind of like all face.
And he doesn't wear any clothes under his armor. That's also kind of strange.
I also don't.
Yeah, but you're a plant. You got leaves.
That's true. I do have leaves. I've got like the natural like the censorship leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. The leaf that's right over where, like, I don't know, a groin might be, except you're a plant, so I don't know that you have a groin, but
correct. It's like it's there. It doesn't need to be there, but it is. Like we grow via the seeds we shoot out of our nose, but you know, for I guess that's where we should hide the plant then. Just, you know, censor that. No.
Someone maybe Puck was talking about, like, it's not clear how fairies reproduce. Well, I don't know.
We're not going to get into fairy reproduction right now.
Yeah. Let he who has reproductive knowledge cast the first stone, I suppose.
Let me go to the library again. I'm going to look all this up.
Excellent.
Yes, that would definitely be in the secret
birds
area.
And the Deku.
That would not be in the core part of the library.
Is there an adult-only section in the library?
Only one way to find out.
Just wait until you find out about Dekun's just misguided belief that leftover Deku scrubs after they die, they get turned into the local furniture.
Jeez.
Kakariko was built on us, literally. That's
Kakariko Village
capitalism
is the
for you.
Ottoman Empire. Oh shit!
Hey, it's perfect double speak because it's also an ottoman like you put your feet on. Love it.
Yes. So okay. We have so according to my calculations, there are 4 hours left in the day before we reach long rest territory. And we are sitting at about 20 minutes before we try to like end the session. So I will say that within that time frame, Ledo will conclude his spell. Because he had 4 hours left, and I would say like the time that we've spent in here has been about an hour. So he will finish the spell by the time it is necessary to take a long rest. However, we do still have a little bit of time left. And what would we like to do?
Hey, Gully, do you want to go see if you can, like, change things in the fire temple, like mold it?
Yeah, try that out.
Maybe if you could, like, spawn some, like, well, maybe containers or something like that. I'm not sure. Like, that would be cool. Like, respawning pots that may happen to reappear
Let's
every time
Respawning
you enter
pots.
the room. Maybe. Sorry.
All right, so let's get a visual of the fire temple on screen, and I will get rid of Moody Mansion. Just give me a quick sec, and we'll spend some time customizing the fire temple.
Get a little tiny doormat. It's like temple, sweet temple.
All right, so what would we like to start off with in terms of customizing this temple?
Perhaps creating some type of column is not the right word. Shoot. Something cool that could hold water. Think. Barrels just sound boring.
Also flammable.
Well, they would be made of stone, I'm assuming.
Oh, that would be cool.
Fire temple. So, some stone. Ooh, maybe. I don't know if Ledo will be able to do this, but maybe I create these like stone like pillars in the fire temple that water like pours out from them
That sounds awesome.
into almost like a little, fountain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there, but I need to ask what it's actually called, and I'm going to ask anybody can chime in. But I remember stuff, and this was a part of our campaign. What was that jug that created all that stuff? Like it creates like mayo and
Alchemy jug.
Is that what it's called?
Alchemy jug.
Yeah,
it's the alchemy jug. We can get like mayonnaise out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some alchemy jugs in these pillars.
That would be red.
Okay. So,
Hey, instead of just getting water, you can also get condiments, people.
So what I'm kind of thinking.
Ooh, they would also be able to get cooking oil from it.
It's
Yeah.
one staple.
But
So
still, that just means I need multiple pillars and multiple jugs.
so I'm thinking like in my mind process, if we were to get something that was like a ready water source, given the heat of the fire temple, it would like evaporate and like steam up the place because it's water surrounded by lava. But if it was something that could readily dispense a liquid such as an alchemy
Yes.
jug, that would circumvent the problem.
Okay. I'm picking
Can
up
I
what you're putting down.
can I maybe use a sending spell to contact somebody real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Princess Zelda something.
Mm-hmm.
Queen Zelda.
Queen Zelda, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Really sorry to bother you, but we need help finding a decanter of endless water,
Yes.
and it's very important for people's survival right now. 24.
All right. So a decanter of endless before we do the response, a decanter of endless water is it said this stoppered flask sloshes when shaken as if it contains water. The decanter weighs 2 pounds. You can use an action to remove the stopper and speak one of 3 command words, whereupon an amount of fresh water or salt water pours out of the flask. The water stops pouring out when you start your next turn. Choose from the following options. Stream produces 1 gallon of water. Fountain produces 5 gallons of water. Geyser produces 30 gallons of water that flushes forth in a geyser 30 feet long and 1 foot wide. As a bonus action, while holding the decanter, you can aim the geyser at a creature you see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed on a DC 13 blah 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 or take bludgeoning damage, fall prone. Okay. But you get the point. All right. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. She sends you back a message. I might need to.
Oh yeah, we've got like 3 or 4 of those in the treasury.
Okay. Let me try to get this reply in. I don't have one in Hyrule Castle, but there is an oh god, there is a what the fuck is that? What's that class? Hold on. Oh, it's
Artificer?
Okay, thank you. I kept thinking. There is an artificer.
My favorite class?
That can make one, but he has gone missing some time ago. And I believe that's 25 on the dot.
Perfect. I'm gonna use another sending spell. Hey, Robbie, where are you? We could use your help, and if you need help we will gladly give it to you. Just ask, inform.
Yeah. I'm in my lab. Still doing what I've been doing. Thanks for checking in. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Like I said, well, we were looking for a decanter of endless water, and it was suggested an artificer might help us. You, and you're the best we know. Or no, you're the best in the kingdom. If I can, I'm sorry, I genuinely lost count.
Okay, we'll say Fitz.
Thanks.
Sadly, that is beyond my expertise. However, if you can find my missing friend, I'm sure he can help. He taught me much of what... And then it cuts.
Okay. I look at Gully and I relay what I have learned to Gully and stuff. And
All right. Side quest.
what do you think? You in for hunting down someone, Gully?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want to make sure we get this water here for these
That'd be awesome.
for these awesome followers. So yes.
In the meantime, do you mind if I yeah, you said the water would evaporate. Maybe. Okay. How I'm trying to think because I can feasibly generate water that would last them a while. It's just a lack of containers.
Yeah.
Would you be okay? Okay, so do you think I could mold Earth to make some like makeshift containers
So,
outside, like where it won't evaporate quite as much?
okay. So here's what I was going
In
to
the
elaborate,
vegetation.
and this
Oh,
is what you
sorry.
picked up on. Standing water inside the fire temple will evaporate.
Yeah, I'll just create that smoke cloud we had when we first came there,
However,
and then everybody's fucked.
that only applies, within reason, to standing water inside the fire temple.
Thank you.
Bless you. So, yes, we, if you were to produce something outside the immediate vicinity of the fire temple, someplace that is not in direct sunlight or direct effective lava flow, then it would either diminish or eliminate any unnecessary evaporation.
Gotcha. Awesome. So maybe we could put this in what used to be like the spawning room or something. Ledo, would you be okay if I kind of made some mold earth stuff in the?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Thanks. So.
I was actually going to ask you to do that once I was done. So good.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Once you finish, I can help you any other way you need it to. But yeah. So. Create food and water. Where's it? Third level. Huh. Did not realize that's how that spell worked. Okay.
Create water is like first level, isn't it?
Oh yeah, create or destroy water.
it
I was
is.
thinking of create food and water. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. That actually really helps. Okay. So, let's see. So it's 10 gallons per spell level. Okay. So if I make like say 4 containers of 20 gallons apiece,
Mhm.
and then I'll use my wish to create or destroy water at 8th level and fill up 80 gallons of water for the disciples. Does that work for
If
you
you
guys?
use wish, it is automatically capped at ninth level. So you get
9th level?
90 gallons.
Oh shit, I didn't know
That
that.
extra
Thanks,
10
dude.
gallons,
Whoa,
I'm sure
yeah.
Honestly, it
that make
might.
or break this
I
whole
mean,
thing.
you never know. Okay, then yeah. I guess I'll make like another container. Thanks, dude. But yeah, are you guys okay with me using it that way, or did you have anything else in mind? Just to ask.
No, that's good.
Cool.
I love it when wish is used to cast like first or second level spells. I think it's awesome.
I agree. It's not. It feels like a Deku thing to do, where it's like unfathomable cosmic power. We're gonna use this to make some water, so that people can have
Yeah.
good
Right.
drinking water.
Makes
I.
complete sense.
I'm in a different campaign where I have like a level 20 sorcerer and I keep track of the spells that I use to cast wish, and it's usually low level spells. Funny enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my most wished spell is just Hero's Feast. I use that like 3 times.
Mm, that's a good one.
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
Alright, so yeah, they have 90 gallons of water, and if they're thirsty, and yeah, I and I was just gonna try and give them some rations from my inventory. But, I don't have
Sounds
any
good.
food.
All right. So I'm looking for something to. I'm looking for a good well picture, so I can find it there. But this is often where Roll20 falls short, because even if it finds something, it often doesn't work. So I'm going to upload a picture. But anyway, yeah, while I work on uploading this picture, I'm going to say, so Deacon, do you feel that that would encompass the remainder of your 3 hours of the day?
Honestly, yeah, because I gotta like mold earth a bunch. And then like so is Ledo getting out right at long rest time, or do I have a minute to interact with him?
You know what do you have in mind?
Ledo was gonna help me make some. He was gonna tell me to make some other structures with mold earth,
Okay.
just like other containers or something, or like that's
All
like
right.
right.
So what I will do is I will
Is
simply have you, for that period of time, I'll have you make a especially since you're only going to do one, it's not really here nor there,
con
but
save?
I will have you make a con save.
Okay, sure. Are you okay with that, Ledo?
Yeah.
All right. And okay. So all right. So just have me run a DC con save. Since it's only one, it doesn't matter if you fail or
You get
pass.
it right then. Sorry.
Past
Okay.
communion with nature. Basically, and whole goal is I'm going to see if I can find 3 different things that will help.
Okay. Is there any way I can help you with that?
Well, if I can find, because one of the options is water.
Uh huh.
I want to see if I can find water or an empty cave, or
Okay.
if there are fairies nearby.
Okay.
It's got a decent. If I find any of the first two, then I can just use you to basically get down to them. The third one
Okay.
is creating something else.
All right. So I guess we want like, do you want me to just hold my wish until the end of the night so that you don't
Yes.
accidentally just detect? Okay.
Yeah.
You okay with that one, Puck?
Yep, that sounds good.
Is it wish is like an action? So thanks, appreciate
Okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
okay.
So I'll
Uh-huh.
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say
say.
in that case, I will probably spend my time just handing out little rations and stuff like that, like cookies and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Sounds good. All right. So Gully, is there? What would you like to spend your remaining potential 3 hours of doing?
Uh, he's probably going to. Is he actually able to change, the walls or anything in here? Because he probably want to work on his room.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
And
build
that.
walls. You can change the flooring. You can
Okay.
pretty much
Yeah, that's what he's probably going to work on. Is actually working on a decent living quarters for himself.
All right. Any particular area that you would like it to be? Okay, there you go. You want to give me a ping?
Give you a what?
A ping for where you
Where
want your
you're
living
putting it.
quarters.
Oh, for where I want it to be. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Uh, I mean, he's probably gonna make it all of this back here.
All right.
Actually, no. Where is the hole? The portal is like back over here, right?
Yeah.
This top left was where we found the Yiga. Or you found the Yiga.
So, I think you probably want to make his room back over there, so that that area, if it is going to be used as a secret entrance in and out, you will be aware of it and use it. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of
So I think we
addressing,
sealed it off, right?
yes, but in terms of the way that those tunnels function is um, they're accessed from the other side.
Right.
So
So
they
it
are
can't be accessed from this side going in yet, but perhaps we can get to a point where we can. You know what? No, he's just gonna go top right hand side. That's where his room's gonna be. It's over here.
okay. All right. So let
Yeah, we'll
me.
just do that over there.
Uh, do,
I'll come
do.
up with another cool little concept / idea for over there.
So you know what? Let me move that and that and that. Mhm. All right. So how's that for starters? And you know what? Actually, let's build a little bridge there and that to the back. Okay. All right. And let's throw just as a marker. Yeah, let's just there we go. A big old picture of a bed there, just like a placeholder. There we go.
Okay.
Gully's room.
Oh gosh, love it. Wonder. Let me see. Let me try something.
What are you thinking? Gully?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure if my mic cut out. I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted to do? Or even in general, things that I can kind of like, are you okay with this amount of lava? Do you want me to fix anything? Like,
I do have one question.
yes.
For his room, would it be possible to have kind of like a skylight?
A
And the
skylight?
only reason, I will show you.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you what I'm thinking here.
Okay, good. Because in
Let
my
me
head,
see.
I'm really not showing a ceiling, but yeah, I can try my best. But yeah, let me see what you're thinking.
All right, and shoot, I don't know if that worked. Crap, I might have to do that a different way. Yeah,
Do
hold
you
on.
want me to make like an icon and give it like a light radius?
No. Hold on. Yeah, well, hold on. I got you. I just need to do one other thing. I just did it the wrong way. Okay, now let me attach it, and you should be able to see what I'm talking about. There you go.
Ah, okay. What I can do is I can take this image and make it. I can upload it. I'll show you. Uh, oh shit! I just exited my GM screen on Roll20. Just give me a quick sec to load it back up again. All right, there we go. All right. Let me get rid of bed for right now. Load it up. Actually, I wonder. Okay. There we go. Does that look good for the time being?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
There we go.
Okay, so we are past 10 o'clock hour, so I'm just going to do some quick check-ins. Stuffin, is there anything that you were looking to do for that remaining 3 hours?
I think he just wants to start putting together some little odds and ends, and maybe like crafting something for the fairies and the fairy jars.
Okay, sounds very good. And one last check, Deacon and Ledo, is there anything else that you would like to do before we turn in for our long rest?
Yes.
Not really. I just want to help Ledo with his thing. So.
Okay. And Ledo, you are good as well?
I was gonna commune with nature.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, I was gonna commune with nature to see if I could find 3 different things.
Uh-huh.
And if I don't find them, then the next step would be actually doing the next step. But I can wait until next week or 2 weeks from now to do it.
Okay, sounds good. Just make a note, and that is
now. What is that date?
That is
I got it.
the 11th. Okay, so just as one last note, that will be our starting off point for our next session.
It is.
So be sure to.
Today's the 28th.
So the 11th, yeah. So
okay, that works. Okay, yeah.
I would just like to point out
that is Veterans Day.
Is that bad? Like in terms of getting together. If anybody has any plans for Veterans Day,
I am still available.
Okay. We'll check
Doesn't affect me, I don't think.
Okay, we'll double check in as we get closer. If there are any interruptions onto our schedule, we will absolutely address it. But I just want to point out, because I did check 3 times, we did not spend an hour with Ledo teaching Deacon how to read today.
Fair.
So
it wasn't done yet. I still had stuff to do today.
I checked 3 times, but yes.
So it was coming. I just haven't had a chance.
You're killing me, Smalls. But
I had lots of stuff still left to do.
But we didn't have the time to do
exhaustion to do it.
We didn't have the time.
Sure we do.
But anyhow.
Exactly. But it's one of the things that are on my list.
Okay. But anywho. Back. All right, fine. We will. You know what? Actually, we'll put it in. Just Deacon and Ledo give me a DC 11 con save.
Okay. Wake up, computer.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's not good for him. It's faster to do it this way. Alright, everything is moving very slowly today. Come on, computer. I know it's late.
There we go.
Oh, that's a 7. So I'm screwed too.
Thank God we're going to bed.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So with that, you will suffer the point of exhaustion. Will sleep off the point of exhaustion. But yes. So with that being said, I would like to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Unless you hear different from us on our Discord server or Facebook, we will be reconvening in 2 weeks' time for our next Cataclysm session. But until then, thank you guys so much. Let me just camera a little bit for the last 3 seconds of the broadcast. We had a blast. Hope you had a blast too. And we'll see you soon. So until then, be happy, healthy, and safe, and we'll see you next time. So thank you again, and bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later, peeps.
Bye.